Yep, it's a thrill every time we come in here on Monday. Well, every day, pretty much of the week, because you never know which pair of headphones were put up where, and they're charging and all the rest of it. Whoever was wearing these last time better go to the hospital.
They need some help, auditory-wise.
Two big horns, those old men used to wear on, like, the Beverly Hillbillies.
Yeah. What?
My God, these headphones were loud. It's like, whoa. You better go to the hospital, man. Get that hearing checked.
Yeah, sometimes I would pop in my headphones after Wally and not adjust the sound. And I would be, how can one human take this?
Wally was really loud. You're right. You're absolutely right about that. I loved working with Wally Walker, though.
I did too.
Just the greatest guy in the world. I'd love to repeat something he said to me once, but I'd have to change one of the words, and when you change the word, it's not funny.
Not as exciting.
Nope. Well, Schumacher called him up on the request line and used a foreign accent. Let me put it that way. No, that could be, Scottish or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I can't say the word. Wally comes out of the studio, and he's running his hands through his hair like he's totally frustrated. I said, Wally, what's the matter? And he goes, I don't know, man. And he didn't say dude. He said something else. Some dude's yelling at me. And I said, you know that Schumacher, don't you? He did not appreciate the humor. It's like, Wally, for Christ's sake, he's pulling your tit. Calm down. Relax, right? Relax, get into your life. Everything be good. So how was the weekend? Everything good?
I had a great weekend.
Marvelous.
I volunteered at the Minnetonka Triathlon, and I got to be a kayak person, which is like the craziest spot because you can actually talk to the people swimming.
Really?
Yeah, and you have to be in there in case they need a break, and so everybody knows to swim around you, and you the table you hold on to there, and there was this guy who was like, I can't do this. I'm dying out here. And he's like, I feel like my what are those zip up suits?
Like a wetsuit.
Yeah, thank you. He's like, I feel like my wetsuit is trying to kill me. And I said, you want to take it off? And he goes, okay. So in the water, we took off his wetsuit, and I was like, all right, here we go. And he started again, and he went on. It was just amazing. I was just so impressed. Kayaking at 6 a.m. on Lake Minnetonka. It was pretty fun.
6 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah, because we had to be there we probably got out on the water at 6:30, but it was super fun.
Well, that's good. I'm sure you raised a lot of dough.
Yes, we raised a bunch of money, and it goes to a bunch of different charities. We sponsored it, and it was super fun.
I'm glad to hear that. See, what's nice about that, really nice about it? It's a typical Monday, and every story I've looked at so far is extremely negative. God, I love these news writers. They put that stuff out there, and every Monday it's like, it's Monday. I hate everyone. So every bit of bad news.
Well, Rudy had an epic weekend, too.
Man, Vegas, 24 hours. One of the craziest nights of my life. It was so much fun. Yeah, it was so much fun. Opened up for Corolla over at Jimmy Kimmel's Comedy Club in Vegas. A couple of people from Minnesota there. Very nice.
Crazy.
Yeah. Afterwards came up. They were like, one guy at the airport actually stopped me and was like, I caught you at Kimmel's. And I was like, is that the guy from the Tom Barnard Show? I was like, thank you so much for listening, dude. Yeah.
Holy bucket.
Cool. Very nice.
But then the next day I had set up like all the gear for an interview that Adam did with the one and only Wayne Newton.
That's right. I heard about that.
And hung out with Wayne Newton for an hour and a half, and he might be the nicest, sweetest man on the planet.
That's amazing.
He's very tall.
He's a big guy.
Yeah, I didn't realize. I guess I just always assumed because he wore the big collared shirts. Yeah. And it looks like, it makes him look short. He's very tall and lanky. He's very skinny legs. I could smell his cologne from 20 feet away, and I was like, that is what cologne smells. That is success right there, my friend.
Smelled so good.
Smelled so good. He walked up to me, he shook my hand, and he goes, hi, Wayne. And I was like, I was like, yeah, you are. I don't get starstruck, but for some reason I was having a hard time because we have a family friend who's a big fan of Wayne, and she had asked, she's like, is it impolite to ask for an autograph? I'm like, Dorothy, no, absolutely not. So when it was just him and I for a hot second, I said, hey, Wayne, would you mind signing an autograph for a friend? He was like, absolutely. Who do I make this out to? And I did that move that Chris Farley does when he interviews Paul from the Beatles, and he's like, I was like, well, you can make it out to Dorothy because she's she's a big fan. I mean, like, we're all like big fans of yours. Like, I'm a fan, and like, she's like can you just make it out to Dorothy? I was like, just stop talking. Just stop, because you're making a fool of yourself. But he was 81 years old.
Yeah.
He still plays 13 instruments. He still does 2 shows a week. He's going back to the Wayne Newton Theater at the Flamingo in September to do 2 shows a night, and is currently on tour, and just gives it all he has, and said he will not stop until they put him in the ground.
I love when somebody, like when you said that he smells so good, I go, yeah, that makes sense. Like I could see that it would smell so good. I love that, like my instincts with people a lot of times is like hug. And then when they have so much cologne on them, you still smell like them. And I'm like, like I love that.
Yeah. You a Wayne Newton guy at all, Tom?
Oh, yeah, I like Wayne Newton a lot. Somebody told me he's broke now.
No.
That's what a lot of people are saying.
I don't know, because I know he had like some problems. He had a back problem.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah, but him and his wife, it was just, I thought, there's going to be a big PR team. There's going to be this and that. No, he rolled right in. Still owns the ranch in Las Vegas, just on the other side of the airport. Still has, 15 horses that live there.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, nice guy.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I've never met him in person, but I've talked to him a couple times on the phone, in interviews and stuff. He's always been a very, very pleasant guy.
Yeah, he told this story. 1976, he was headlining the Fremont Theater in Vegas, and there was a guy that was diagnosed with cancer, and this doctor gave this guy 3 weeks to live. And his daughter said, "What do you want to do in 3 weeks?" And the guy goes, "The last thing I want to do on this planet is see Wayne Newton before I die." So his daughter brings dad all the way to Las Vegas in a wheelchair. They're at the show in the Fremont. Wayne's doing a 90-minute set. 60 minutes in, he notices like some hubbub going on in the crowd, and he kind of stops down and is like, "Is everything okay out there?" The man passed away in the wheelchair at the show. And the daughter said, "The last thing my dad ever wanted was to see Wayne Newton live. You are not taking him out of here." And Wayne said, "Let him stay." And the guy in the wheelchair passed away, and they just let him stay there till the end of the show. And at the end, they wheeled him out and put him in the ambulance and took him to the morgue. Like, what a story.
Holy buckets.
Wow.
Dream come true right there.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I feel like there's like a bunch of laws that were broken, but like rightfully so.
Yeah. They would never allow that to happen nowadays. No, not at all.
way.
No.
No, did anybody die from catching what he had?
You mean the asthma?
No.
Yeah, whatever it was. I'm sure he passed it on to other people while he was dying in his wheelchair. Way to go.
Oh, yeah, thanks. Yeah, no mask on. I did
mask.
ask Wayne. I was like, was he wearing a mask? Was it an N97 or whatever that thing is called?
I was trying to think if I was dying, who I'd want to go see.
That's a good question.
I don't know who it'd be, though. Do you guys know?
I feel like everybody I've wanted to see, the only band I haven't seen yet is Pearl Jam. Mm-hmm. And that's coming up in August on the 31st. My sister bought me tickets for Father's Day.
Oh, that's
That's an amazing gift for Father's Day.
Yeah, so, I think she bought them, but I do have to pay for them. But she was like, "By the way, I got tickets." I was like, "That's great." She's like, "They're $161." I was like, "Oh, is that me having to pay for that?" Okay, great, fine.
I mean, in her defense, you're not her father.
No, you are right, yes.
Ever since I met his sister now I will defend her until the death.
Yeah.
Because that's now how I roll. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. Jen is always right. You are
Absolutely.
always wrong. Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Glad we know.
You've met her once, and this
Yep.
is how far you've come.
That's allegiance.
One time you
no.
met her. I hope she's a debt collector and busts your ass. That's what I hope.
Come for me. Good luck.
Come on, baby. Try to collect all you want. It ain't happening. No, that is very pleasant when you meet somebody who's that famous and, the only thing about Wayne, I wish he hadn't jacked his face up so many times.
I know.
It's a lot of comments about it.
I bet.
It was funny because we were in the green room and one of the handlers there was like, "Is there something that we can get for Wayne? Like a little gift or something like that?" And Corolla said, "Yeah, Grecian formula."
There you go. Well, yeah.
It's like, you are 1,000% correct. Because at 81 years old, there should be a little bit of gray.
Yeah.
A little salt
you
and
mean
pepper.
like this?
Yeah.
You mean like that?
Perfect.
Yeah, there you
yes.
go.
A little salt and pepper, but his hair is as black as night. Yeah.
I think you live in that environment, you don't even realize how indoctrinated you are to that. Because, like, his face looks completely redesigned. His hair, like you said, jet black. And it's like, yeah, you look, if you've rolled around here in the Midwest, would be like, that person looks insane. Mm-hmm. But they're so used to the Vegas or in some places LA lifestyle, and they're just used to, like, you have to maintain the way that you looked when you were 30.
Yeah.
It's all true. So, well, that's good. I'm glad everything went well. Adam doing well. Haven't seen him. I talked to him a couple of months ago on this show. You set him up. But
Yeah.
I haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah, doing great. I'm going to be with him again this coming weekend, and we got a couple of shows in the hopper. But yeah, man, asks about you every now and again. He'll be
that's
like, "Hey,
very
what's going
nice
on
of
there?" In fact, his handler, Mike August, I brought your name up this weekend, and he goes, "Oh, you work with Tommy?" I go, "Yeah, you know him." He goes, "Oh, I know Tommy."
Uh-oh.
And I was like, "Well, that doesn't sound good." He goes, "No, I love Tom. No, we go way back."
Nice co-worker.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't sound good. Nice.
How do you know him though? Do you guys go way back for radio guys?
Yeah. It's been a long
Yeah.
time. Yeah, it was one of those deals. It's been, you're in the business as long as I've been in the business, 52 years. It's like I don't remember where I met most people anymore.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is, ladies and gentlemen. I've been looking at the news stories all morning, and we're going to have to dig pretty deep. I will tell you that, because the ones they're supposed to be funny or not funny, and the other ones, it's really not a lot of great news. People dying over the weekend, and
Yeah, summertime. It feels like things are light. You know? Yeah.
well, here we go. We got why Taylor Swift's Minneapolis bound. What? Why Taylor Swift's Minneapolis-bound Eras tour means so much to COVID test. What does that headline mean?
I have no idea. Read it one more time.
Why Taylor Swift's Minneapolis-bound Eras tour
Yep.
means so much to COVID-tested families. What does that mean?
I have no idea.
I don't get it. She's going to belt it out. Next weekend, sold-out shows at U.S. Bank Stadium cap off a trying era for many of her biggest fans. Well, I don't know if you noticed this or not, but it was kind of a trying era for all of us, not just Taylor Swift fans.
Yeah.
You know. Is she pleasant? I've never talked to her or met her or any of that
Yes.
stuff. But she is a very pleasant person.
Yes, nobody has anything bad to
Good.
say about her.
Glad to hear it.
Yes.
It's how people should be. You got a former KSTP TV reporter accused the station of sexism and unsafe practices. So we've decided not to have Egert on today. No, I'm just, that's not true at all. So another negative headline. Inflation Reduction Act foes race to repeal climate drug pricing program. St. Paul fire captain. I've met Chris Parsons before. He died at 48 years old. Jesus, sorry to hear that. You got Garland keeps poker face as firestorm erupts after Trump charges. There's not one bit of good news in the paper this morning, other than Taylor Swift, I suppose. That was pretty positive, right?
Yes. I get a very convoluted headline with that one.
That was a really weird headline. You're absolutely right. I don't really understand where they were headed or what they were trying to get done there, but not great, I will tell you. How will Minnesota's free college tuition program work? I don't know anything about that. You guys know anything about the free tuition program?
No, tell us more.
I don't think I want to read the story because it might just piss me off. What I'd like to know is, where the hell is all this money coming from? We're already $32 trillion in debt, and you will not stop giving money away. What are we going to do about this? How are we ever going to pay it back if you don't stop giving it away?
They just keep raising more and more property taxes.
Well, so you and I are going to pay the tab.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But we don't have enough money to pay the tab. That's a big problem.
We don't. No, you're right. Yeah.
God, I just stop buying votes with our money. How about that? Stop buying people voting for you by using our money. Okay? That'd be really nice. But that's the way it's always been, hasn't it? I suppose. I'm sure that all parties do it and all people did it and all the rest of it, but I just don't like that. This one kind of makes me sad. I don't know the story at all. Twins reliever Lopez on injured list to address mental health issues. I've never seen any. Speaking of addressing things, I've never seen anybody address someone being on the DL as a mental health issue.
Yeah.
That's kind of a new. Well,
And maybe it's happened before,
Yeah,
but they probably called it something else, right?
Yeah, I don't understand what that means. Jorge Lopez, the fourth MLB player to spend time on the IL. That's right. It's no longer the DL. It's now the IL, the injured list. On the IL to address mental health this season, a list that includes another former Twins reliever for mental health issues? What the hell's going on in Major League Baseball? I mean, radio, I can understand it because every one of you is nuts anyway.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Twins reliever Jorge Lopez, who hasn't pitched well for the past month, will spend some time away from the team after he was placed on the 15-day injured list for mental health reasons on Sunday. Lopez is the fourth MLB player to spend time on the IL to address mental health this season, along with Colorado reliever Daniel Bard, Oakland outfielder Austin Meadows, and Oakland reliever Trevor May. Trevor May used to pitch for the Twins, didn't he? I think. Am I thinking of a different guy? Trevor May.
I don't remember that name. Maybe, though.
Sounds familiar.
Maybe.
I think it's definitely the right move for him, Twins manager Rocco Baldelli said. Why don't we do this, Rocco? Since your team sucks the worst they've sucked all year, maybe you should check into mental health treatment, too. What do you say?
Wouldn't hurt. I'd love to.
They lost three out of 4 to Detroit. Detroit is terrible.
Yeah.
What the hell's wrong with the Twins?
Oof.
What happened?
I don't know.
They can't beat anybody anymore. Jesus. And that's got to go to the front office, doesn't it? I mean, you got to go into the dugout and the front office and all the rest of it. You better start making some better decisions, man. Lopez, a 2022 American League All-Star with Baltimore, owns a 5.00 ERA in 29 relief appearances this season. He's yielded 16 hits, 12 runs in his last 6 1/3 innings. That ERA, though, is 17.05. That's a pretty big ERA right there, baby. Mm-hmm. That's rather high, don't you think?
I mean, I'll have to trust you.
17.0 is very, very high. I don't think I've ever seen an ERA that high before, as a matter of fact. His velocity was down by about 2 miles per hour during his... Here's what I love about that. His velocity's down 2 miles an hour. Oh, so what, it's only 101 miles an hour now? Mm-hmm. All these pitchers can throw over 100 now.
Yeah.
That's amazing to me.
I just saw, I think was it Ichiro Suzuki? Was he back in Seattle for a night? And
maybe, yeah.
He wore his jersey from his heydays playing for the Mariners. He has not picked up a baseball in 10 years. He got up to throw out the first pitch and still threw it 93 miles an hour.
Oh, the guy's, what an amazing talent that man. Hit like a sumbitch too.
I actually know him because they have a song for him. It's go, 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 Ichiro. Rounding first and headed for home. Don't you know?
Did they sing it or do they talk it like
I'm just giving an example because I just remember it. I'm just saying he's so famous that I even know there's a song and it's stuck in my head.
Sing it again.
Go, 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 Ichiro. Rounding first and headed for home.
It's getting better now.
Don't you know? He beats the throw.
They kind of hit the wall there for that.
Sorry.
No, that was good.
Thank you.
No, he was a hell of a player. I understand he's a very nice man, too. I never met him, but I heard he was a great guy. Just busted his ass for his teammates and did the whole, just the kind of guy you want to play with, no question. We have to take a break. We got some Bob Sansevere coming up, got some Kristyn Burtt coming up, got some Chris Egert. By the way, I'm going to kick Egert right in the pubic bone today.
Uh-oh. Okay.
I tuned in this morning. He's got his professorial glasses on.
Oh, it's because of his blood pressure.
Here we go.
Remember? He looked like Clark Kent on Friday because his blood pressure went up and it messes with his ocular nerve.
Does he know what that's from? Is that from being in radio?
Well, now that he's in radio, but probably from running around that building.
Yeah, could be. Could be. Just running into Amy Daniels every day would drive your blood pressure right through the roof.
Through the roof.
You see what I'm saying? We'll keep an eye on that whole deal. But we'll be right back. Got some great stuff coming up, ladies and gentlemen. As you know, my friend Mike Lindell has a passion to help everyone get the best sleep of their lives. He didn't stop by simply creating the best pillow. Mike created the Giza Dream bed sheets. They look and feel great, which means an even better night's sleep for me, which is crucial for my busy schedule. Mike found the world's best cotton. It's called Giza. It's ultra soft and breathable, but extremely durable. Mike's Giza Dream Sheets come with a 60-day money-back guarantee and a 10-year warranty. Giza Dream Sheets come in a variety of sizes and colors. Mike's latest incredible deal is the sale of the year. For a limited time, you will receive 50% off the Giza Dream Sheets. You will receive a set for as low as $29.98. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the radio podcast square, and use promo code TOM. There you'll find not only this amazing offer, but also deep discounts on all MyPillow products, including the MyPillow 2.0 mattress topper, MyPillow towel sets, and so much more. Go to MyPillow.com. Make sure you use the promo code TOM. You need to know a guy for your auto repairs, legal issues, banking, and more. The same goes for investment advice. You need a guy to help you be successful, someone you can trust, who gets results. Well, I got a guy for you. Josh Arnold. Josh gives you straight talk, not sugar-coated advice about your financial situation. Josh has seen it all when it comes to economic and market conditions, and Josh can make sure that your retirement objectives match your investments. Do yourself a favor and call Josh now for a no-obligation, 48-minute evaluation. You've got nothing to lose, and you'll get a different point of view for your investments. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. That is 952-925-5608. You'll be glad that you did. and tell him his guy, Tom, sent you.
Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant LLC, a security investment advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. Tom Barnard is a paid endorser.
When you need someone to listen, a lawyer you know and trust.
If you've never been in an auto accident, it's hard to know what to expect from the insurance adjuster. Here are some tips. 1, if they talk to you about whether or not you should hire a lawyer, it's a good sign that you probably should. 2, it's illegal for them to give you any legal advice. They aren't lawyers, and they aren't licensed to practice law. 3, if they tell you that everyone involved in the accident is at fault, they're wrong. This comes from the belief that you're at fault for just being on the road. That's nonsense and not supported by any law. Finally, remember that friendly adjusters are often just gaining information. They want you to do most of the talking so they can file their report. I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. I hope you're never injured in a collision. But if you are, don't sign anything until you've talked to us.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bob Sansevere Sports, brought to you by Bielke Law Firm. Heard at work. Dave Bielke goes to work for you, taking care of your workers' comp injury claims and denials. Go to BIALKElaw.com. Tell them Bob and Tom sent you. Won't they think that's the two guys from Indianapolis? Thank you very much. Great to be here. God, I haven't seen those guys in a long time. Been a long time since I've seen either one of them. Sandy, how are you today?
I am lovely as can be, but I do have one
Lovely.
request.
Yes, sir.
That Brittany not sing the Ichiro song because my dogs start to howl.
Isn't it weird, though, that I know that song? Can we acknowledge that?
Yeah, I think
Yes, it's very weird.
Like, where was I that I've acquired that song and that as soon as he said it, I'm like, oh, I know that guy.
Because I didn't know about that song. I'd never heard that before.
I don't know.
You got it dialed in, sister.
Sounds a lot like the Britney song that Tom has. Go, 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 go home.
Home, 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 and
Go,
stay there.
And stay there, and stub
stay
your toe,
there.
and don't come back. Go, go, round the home, stub your toe, don't come back. Yay!
One of my favorite songs of all time.
I
That's all
also
have
sing
to
that
say.
to myself.
Yeah, exactly.
Brittany named her baby after that song.
I did.
Go, go. Exactly. So the orb is with us, ladies and gentlemen. Sandy.
Yes. I didn't have to make any predictions last week, so nothing will not come true. I will say this. Speaking of orbs, orbs are that otherworldly type thing.
Sure.
Tom, it's incredible. My sister used an app called Shut Eye, right? It is supposed to you put it on at night, and when it only kicks in when you snore or if you have trouble breathing, if you have sleep apnea, or if you talk in your sleep. She recorded a ghost.
She did.
And I know people are skeptical. If you want, I'll send it to Rudy and you could listen to it. It's unbelievable. It was not her talking in her sleep.
Does the ghost go, lick me? Oh, no, wait, that was
No,
the
but
devil.
it's-
That was the devil. That's right. Never mind.
That was
It was,
that was
yes.
Mercedes McCambridge
I forgot. Sorry.
as the devil.
Okay, send us this immediately. What are you talking about?
Actually,
I'm
Bob.
talking about a ghost.
Yeah, Bob just sent it. Here it is.
You know I hate fat people.
Yeah, there it is. That's the ghost right there.
You've ruined my life, by the way.
It's scary.
Did you know some
Stop it
people
now.
went up to me?
Very
Hutch from KS95 came up to me at work and goes, "Did you know this woman hates fat people?" To a group of people.
Really nice. Nice.
And I was like,
Why-
it's not now. It's like double out of context. And then
Brittany,
people are
why
like,
do you hate fat people?
I don't. I was talking
And
about.
fat people. You can't call them fat people. They are.
I was quoting a
plump.
show. It's ruining my life.
Okay, Brittany. That's...
Yeah, send that over to me, Bob. I'll definitely throw it in for sure.
All right. Send me your email because I don't know what is. Do I
Just
have
send
your
it to
email?
me.
Yeah,
I'll
just
have
just
Just-
just rudypovich@gmail.com is fine.
Here, I'll start a group.
All right. It's on its. It'll be on its way momentarily.
Great.
Now, Tom, I heard you talking about Lopez.
Yes.
Oh my God, you might even put every twin in that. Every Twins fan in that rehab thing for mental health.
No,
Because if you're a
Bob,
Twins fan, it's tough.
I've lost my mind with this team. This team sucks right now. I'm sorry. You lose the last, what the hell did they lose? Like 7 of their last 10 games or something? They're terrible
and
right now.
3 or 4 to Detroit.
I
Oh, my
know,
gosh.
I know.
And they're still 2.5 up. It's the most wretched division in the history of baseball.
Wretched, you heard us.
Aren't they under 500?
I think they're right at 500 now.
Are they? Because I
gotta
thought
take a
they'd be
good
like
look at that.
35 and 36 or something like that.
Well, because they won a few games and
Yeah,
then they
suppose.
went into crapper. But it's just it's going to be like this all year. But I mean,
it
if
is.
you're a fan, and I know some fans are saying, "Well, look in the NBA finals and the NHL finals. Teams that had the 8th seed, they won. You know, they almost won." Yeah, well, this is not going to be your Twins. Yep, they're 36 and 36.
Jesus,
And
unbelievable.
they would be okay. They would be 13, 14 games out in the AL Central, because I have to do the math quick,
I
because
love that.
Boston is 37 and 35 and they're 12 and a half out. So the Twins would be below even the Red Sox in the AL East. And I mean, you go around, well, actually, nobody's worse than the A's.
Right, and always have been. Since the World Series they won, they've sucked.
Yeah, they've stripped them bare, but they would be, what, about 8.5, 9 games out in the West. And the same thing, I mean, you go in the NL, they would be the worst. They are certainly the worst division winner. And something's going to happen. Look like Detroit for a while, and now even with the 4 wins, they're still lousy because they had such a horrible stretch. And it's just there's nothing you can count on. The Twins, winning the cell. Who cares?
Bob,
They're going to make another quick exit.
I have a question for you, Bob. I have never seen a season across the board in Major League Baseball where players get their glove on the ball and then either drop it or it deflects off their glove. I've never seen so many booted balls in the first few months of a season in my life. What is that all about now?
Well, it's the same word, fundamentals.
Yeah, it just
I don't understand why they're not teaching it anymore. And a lot of these guys certainly go to the minors first, but that's where they should be, teaching them again. They should have learned them on the way up, but apparently they're not.
I guess I've just booted grounders, line drives. I mean, even fly balls have been dropped. What the hell is that?
Well, that and Doug Minkiewicz, who had coached Byron Buxton in the minors, is talking about he doesn't like the way the Twins are handling him and what he's like. Hey, maybe in the minors should have taught him not to run into walls. That was a fundamental that you overlooked.
He does that a lot. That's true.
Yeah, but I mean, as I said last week, all right, you put him at DH to keep him healthy. He still went on the DL.
Yep.
What can you have this guy do? If you just make him a base runner, he's going to get hurt sliding into second.
Oh, Bob, what's wrong with him now? What happened now?
Actually, I didn't watch any games over again. If he is, I'm unaware of it.
Yeah, I just don't understand any of the things that are. There's not one guy in that team you go, man, that's the center of the team. Yeah, they've always had their Kirby Pucketts, and again, he was a brilliant player. So to use him may be a bad example because he was so damn good. But teams always have those 1, 2, 3 guys that, hey, don't worry, just get behind me, boys, and I'll take us to victory. They don't have anybody like that now.
That's supposed to be Correa. I mean,
Yes.
he had a couple of hits, but he's still at 270. He's perpetually at 217. Buxton did pinch hit yesterday, so if he got hurt pinch hitting. But why do they give this guy? Okay, these guys get so many frickin' days off.
Yes.
Hey, we need you 162 days out of the year. I can't do that. That's too much.
I know.
Taking days off. I mean, there are guys who would never take a day off.
Oh, you're
and
right.
Give you great numbers.
Yep. Yeah, there's just no leader on that team on the field. I just there's not one guy I could say, hey, that guy might help bring them to more victories. They don't have a guy like that anymore.
No, and again, it's supposed to be Correa. And,
yes, right.
But we're talking about. I mean, we're past the middle of June. He has had. I mean, he's had some decent games to get him to 217. That's what's frightening.
Bob, did you notice that 31 other teams had no interest in him? Did you ever notice that?
Oh, actually, a number of teams had interest. Then they found out that his leg probably isn't going to hold up.
Right. But we took him
and
back.
He's been dealing with that plantar fasciitis, which has ruined careers. Guys have lost careers over plantar fasciitis.
Yeah. Yep.
So I mean, it's that's the team's got a long way to go. Let's just put it there. I can understand why, the big question is, why is only one player needing a mental health break?
Well, I'd like to know, as a fan, why I don't need a mental health break, because they started out really strong. I was very impressed with them at the beginning of the year. And since about a third of the way through the season so far, I mean, a third of where they are now, they started sucking, and they have not stopped sucking. What happened? Because they're not taking on good teams right now, Bob. That's not it.
No. They're just not, well, I mean, I guess the basic answer is they're just not good enough.
Right.
Good enough to lead the AL Central, not good enough to be a good team.
All I know is it's agony, Bob. That's all I'm saying. It's agony, I say.
And Trevor May was a twin.
I thought so.
So you were right.
I thought so.
Yeah, you were absolutely right about that. Hey, Rudy, did you get that audio or no?
I did. You guys want to hear it?
Yes.
Okay, now, Bob, you have to intro it.
Well, again, my sister had this app called Shut Eye, and it picked up this voice, and the voice is saying, I thought it was saying one thing, and then a friend of hers heard it and said it was something completely different. So I'll tell you what was said. It looks like it's saying like, oh, hi there, and then ah. But then her friend heard, and tell me what you heard like, oh, I'm hurt, ah.
That's what I say to these two every morning. Oh, I'm hurt. That was me. That wasn't the ghost.
Maybe it was you.
It was me, yes.
Listening to the podcast.
Absolutely.
Okay, here you go.
Oh.
What are you laughing at? Brittany's
not,
like she's rolling in the aisle.
I got to be honest with you, Bob. It sounded like he asked for like a mid-range wedge on the golf course. It sounded like he said, "Ooh, iron." Ah.
See, everybody hears something different.
Play it again. I'm going to shut my eyes again.
Oh.
Yeah, I hear hi there.
It is high there.
Yeah.
But then I heard I could hear sometimes I'm hurt.
Ooh, hi there. I feel like this is your sister making this noise.
In this no, because I've talked to her when she had a mouthpiece for sleep apnea made. I had to tell her because I said, "What the hell are you doing?" And she says, "Well, I'm on my mouthpiece." And I said, "Well, you know what? Let's talk when it's out. I'll see you later." No, she would not sound like that. That's not her talking in her sleep.
Oh.
It's an otherworldly presence.
You guys ever had anything like that happen to you?
No.
No?
How about you?
I had one in Missouri. I still don't believe in ghosts, but I had one in Missouri at an apartment that I lived in. It was like a side-by-side. You know, my apartment was on the left.
Yeah.
Then an elderly couple lived to the right of me, and I had all these things happening. Cupboards were slamming, and I would see a green light in the hallway, probably like 2-3 times a week. And one night, I was dead certain there was somebody in the house with me. There was nobody. And I had not met my neighbors yet. I lived there for about 3 weeks. And I walked outside, and I finally met the elderly man who lived next to me. And I introduced myself. We start chatting. And Kathy was our landlord. And he goes, "Hey, did Kathy ever tell you about the lady who lived here before you?" I was like, "No, nothing." He goes, "Oh, boy, she was a nut job, man. She used to come running out of the house all the time, screaming about there's ghosts in her apartment. And she was always talking about some green light going on and on." I'm like,
"Whoa."
I'm like, "Yeah, that sounds like a crazy lady."
Oh.
Swear to God. I lived there for about 6 months, had all these interactions, and then left, and I've never had another one since.
They've
Well,
abandoned.
because you left.
Yeah. So I don't know what I still don't believe in them, but I know that I should. But it was I've never seen anything like it.
Were you scared at all?
No.
Because you think you could feel like you could take on a green light?
Yeah.
Punch it right in its green orb face. Hi there. That's like such a weird thing for a ghost to say.
Well, that's why it could be I'm hurting or I'm hurt.
Oh, hi there. Didn't expect you to be there. This is awkward.
Brittany's going to get a visit tonight.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. That was a barn burner. Now I'm wide awake.
Hi there.
See, Tom doesn't want to admit that he believes in ghosts.
Well,
I go down that
I told you,
ghost road.
as close as I got to it, Bob, was when my great-grandmother was standing at the end of my bed when I was like 4 years old. And I didn't talk to her. She was just standing there looking at me. And then the next morning when I woke up, I found out she had died. So I don't know if she made the appearance, if I had somehow heard through my bedroom door that she had died and projected it myself. I highly doubt that. Let me put it this way. if you were 100 and she was 104 when she died. If you're 104 and you die, would you go visit a 4-year-old? Hell no.
No.
But
Anybody but that.
She's saying goodbye. You see, you don't want to admit that it's a possibility.
She and I were tight,
and then
though.
But at that age, we are much more open to the other side.
did you ever
And
dream
seeing it.
about her again?
Well, I still dream about her, yeah. But I
Okay.
mean, it's she and I were really good. She was exactly 100 years older than me.
Oh yeah.
It was very, very cool.
So I could see why she'd come visit you.
I mean, look, I know 2 people that are 104, my great-grandmother and Kristyn Burtt. And Kristyn visits me every day.
Every day. Also, keep in mind, okay, I don't, full disclosure, I have a hard time believing in ghosts. But like, if you became a ghost within a half second, maybe you're not great at figuring out where you're gonna go or what you're gonna do.
Maybe.
Like, how do
Maybe.
you don't know what you're doing? It's your first time being a ghost, so maybe she just
true.
kind of thought of you, and then was bam there.
Catman.
She was also
First time
like,
ghost things.
yeah, like it's her first time ghosting.
She was a
My
wonderful
my
person.
wife Mary, who many people have questioned her sanity because she did marry me.
That's true.
but she used to play in this house in her town with a little girl in the attic, and she told me about this before her brother sent her a story. It's considered the most haunted house in Wisconsin now, but she questions now, or did, if the little girl was actually real, because she never ate. She was dressed like a kid from the turn of the century every
Oh.
time she went over to play. And it's a little bizarre. Now, Kristyn, I know just from just talking briefly to you each day, you believe in ghosts.
I don't
It's
know
okay.
if I was like, I'm like, I'm
It's
one of those.
okay,
I'm like, I'm not
Kristyn.
sure if I believe in ghosts, although I had a haunted room in Dallas at the Magnolia Hotel. I was
See?
living there for a month for a job, and my lights would constantly go on and off. They had electricians look at it.
Did you pay the bill?
And I would shut my lights off. I would take photos of my lights at night, like the switch, to be like, I shut this off, right? Because I started gaslighting myself, going, I must have left it on, because I had like a suite, so I had like a little kitchenette and like a little living area and the bedroom. And I'd go into the bedroom and I come in, and all the lights would be on when I'd wake up in the morning. And I started taking photos, and I'm realizing, no, I shut those off when I went to bed.
See?
Ooh, Kristyn.
And my husband says I'm very intuitive. I predict things a lot. So
Well, I don't know about that, but you know.
I do. You don't want to know the stuff I've predicted. And he's always like, oh my gosh, you said that was going to happen. Yeah.
So are you predicting a good segment for you today?
Oh,
On a Monday, it is always a good segment.
True that.
Every week we start sliding because who knows what happens.
that is very, very true. So there you have it. Like, you know, I have to ask you guys a question, because I think about this always, and I don't know if it's how I was raised or whatever. But if people tell me they believe something, I don't go, oh, that's ridiculous. Well, if you do, that's great. I mean, you know, that you don't believe in ghosts, you do believe in ghosts, you believe in God, you don't believe in God, you believe in this party but not that party. Why would I care? Good for you. If it makes you happy and you're not using it against somebody else, I'm happy for you. Right?
See, Tom, I'm genetically predisposed to believe in ghosts. I'm an Italian Catholic. We have to
exactly.
believe in ghosts.
No, that's
But
true.
you're an orb. If we believe in orbs, we have to believe in you.
And I don't believe you don't have Catholic or you don't have Italian in your genetics somewhere with all that hand
I
talking
don't.
you do.
Zero.
She does. Hey, let me
Zero.
tell you something. It's unbelievable.
That's exactly what she does.
She does. It's great.
You could get a job if you didn't want to do the Hollywood reporting as a sign language person. I don't know if they know what you're saying, but your hands, you're already working out with them. You're
I would
ready
have
to
to
go.
study ASL. And I
Yeah,
could
I think
still
it's
have a
picking
job
up.
in Hollywood because I could be an ASL interpreter. It'd be fabulous.
Yeah, you'd be a quick learner, a quick study.
You know what?
No question.
You know why I think a lot of people don't, and I'm not saying there are ghosts or aren't ghosts. I don't know. I don't have all that information, all the rest of it. But the one thing you have to look at, as far as humanity and the history of the world is concerned, most people don't believe in ghosts because there's no money in it for them. Everything's about money. You ever notice that? If they could make
Yes.
money from believing in ghosts, then they would make money. I don't know if the people who do believe in it make money from it or not, but I suppose.
But plenty of mediums have made money off of
Yeah, they
ghosts.
have. Yeah.
And
It's true.
connecting to the other side, they've had pretty successful TV shows.
But if I connected to the other side, my grandma Minnie, who was my mother's mother, first thing she'd say is, "What do you want?"
That wasn't the
That's
100-year-old.
That's what you say.
Exactly. Where's my inheritance, you pain in the ass? Yeah, an inheritance in my family. Let me keep digging, baby.
Who was the 104? Was that a great-grandmother or a
My
grandmother?
great-grandmother, Susan Barnard, was her name. Susan Barnard. Okay. She was the sweetest woman. And by the way, I was 4 years old, and I was a little bit taller than she was. So there you go. That's a lie. But
That's a good lifeline, though.
She was about 4'10", I believe. 4'10", 4'11". She was not 5 feet tall, though. But she was the sweetest woman, and I can to this day see her face and hear her voice. And that was a long time ago that she died. But, that's the great thing about life. You carry them with you for the rest of time.
Well, you know what? Maybe the pathways to the other side are a little more open this week for some reason. Maybe all that wildfire coming through punched a hole in the ghost layer. Who knows?
I'm sure that's what it is. I don't think there's any other argument.
It's a theory. Just a theory.
All right.
On that note, you have Ms. Burtt to
Sandy's
give
out.
you all the latest from Hollywood.
All right, Bob, we will talk to you on Friday.
I live for those moments.
Thanks, Bob.
All right.
Good day.
See ya.
Bob Sansevere Sports, brought to you by Bielke Law Firm. Heard at work. Dave Bielke goes to work for you, taking care of your workers' comp, your workers' comp injury claims and denials. Go to BIALKElaw.com. Tell them Bob and Tom sent you. Kristyn Burtt with us now, ladies and gentlemen. So, Kristyn, we have 2 more episodes of A Small Light left, Meep. That show is terrific. Very, very sad, however. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've watched a couple episodes. You can't watch. It's not a binge watch.
It is not a binge.
And I'm a binge watcher, and I know that I'm like, I can watch, and then I have to take a step back and absorb what I just watched.
I still would like to know where the Germans ever came up with saying it like this. The Jews! Like, why do they say it like that? Just go, how about the Jews? That's good.
Maybe it's a Hollywoodization.
Oh, you think that's what it is? They Hollywooded it up? I bet you're right. The Jews!
For the drama.
Yeah, drama. Get a little drama going. But yeah, that was terrific. We watched a thing called Prey last night, which is a 6-part, 2 seasons, 3 episodes per season, called Prey, Prey, about a police department in, I believe it's in England, maybe Scotland. There's so much good television on now, Kristyn. I don't know how the hell you can watch it all.
Well, it's going to be a good time to write those lists and really have a queue, because we are seeing a slowdown as of last week.
Yep.
0 LA Film Commission gave away 0 permits. So what's that saying is that there are 0 scripted shows and films currently happening in Los Angeles.
God.
Production is almost at a near standstill.
Any idea how long this might go on?
I mean, this is week 8 for the writer's strike.
Really?
And we have about, what day's today? So we are less than 2 weeks before the SAG contract officially expires.
Okay.
They said that if they are close, that they are willing to go a couple of extra days before they call a strike. So it might bleed into like early July. But from everything I've heard so far, and I haven't heard anything to the contrary, the actors will likely strike.
So everybody's going on strike, so we're going to sit around all summer with, although there's so much stuff to watch now.
You're not going to sit around all summer.
No,
you're going to sit around all fall. And that's
true.
the real
Yeah.
issue.
Yep,
Yeah.
true.
I mean, like this week, we've got like 3 really big shows that are coming out. You've got The Bear season 2. If you've not caught up with that on Hulu, it's such a good show.
What is that?
That'll be dropping on Thursday. And just like that on Max, which is the sequel to Sex and the City, that's going to be a really big show. That also drops on Thursday. And then to counter program the fact that Kim Cattrall no longer is on And Just Like That and Sex and the City, she has a show on Netflix called Marvelous that is also debuting. So there's still stuff in the pipeline. It's just that CBS has already flipped to an unscripted fall season. ABC has already committed to that. We're going to start seeing the other networks go, okay, we're going to have a slowdown here.
Kristyn, will you tell Tom about The Bear? He was asking about that one.
Yes, and I think you watched a couple of episodes, but it's about if anyone has watched Shameless, it's Lip. It's Lip in Chicago. He's still in Chicago, but it's a brand new character. And he goes back to his brother's restaurant. His brother has passed away, and he takes it over.
Oh, yeah.
He's worked in a high-end restaurant. This is a diner. And so it's sort of like being able to figure out how to run the financial side of it and also take some of his fine dining and put it into a diner. But really complex characters, really well done. And I think we talked about the first episode. The first episode, again, that exposition, it's really noisy and loud. Get through it because the show really kicks off with episode 2.
Okay, good.
I love it. And I'm super excited for season 2, which drops Thursday on Hulu.
So is it B-A-R-E or B-E-A-R?
B-E-A-R.
So what does that mean?
It gets explained in the show.
Oh, it does?
But you
Okay.
really,
All right.
yeah. I don't want to give it away.
No,
but,
that's fine.
Yeah.
I did watch the first episode. I thought it was terrible because it was so loud and annoying.
It is. It's
yeah.
it's because they do a lot of I think what they do is to kind of set up how fast paced it is behind the line in a kitchen. If you've ever worked in a restaurant, you know the flames are going, people are running around, people are coming in and out, and they're trying to avoid each other. And it's a lot of that, but it really sets the pace for the show. And then when you get to the second episode, you really dive into the characters and the story. And I love it.
Magnificent.
Highly recommend it.
Well, why don't we take a break here, come back, because then we got you for an entire segment, and we can annoy the piss out of you. It's going to be wonderful.
Looking forward to it.
Thank you. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I've been telling you for a couple of months now how happy I am with the mnfatloss.com program. It really has been easy and effective, and I've lost 27 pounds. It just really hasn't been that hard either. And I'm serious about that. It has not been that hard. I eat great food. I don't feel hungry. I have plenty of energy to get out and enjoy this fantastic spring weather we've been having. I'm going into summer looking and feeling great. Right now, mnfatloss.com is offering an exciting summer special, $200 off now through July 30th, but don't wait until the whole summer goes by to get this program started. That's a big deal. Go to mnfatloss.com for details on this special offer. If you want to find out the secret to losing 20 to 30 pounds in just 8 weeks, that's the very important part of it. In 2 months, you could lose 30 pounds. That's a very big number, very big number. It's just what I'm doing, as a matter of fact. Save $200 on the program. Schedule your free consultation. Just go to mnfatloss.com. That is mnfatloss.com. Of course, results may vary. And always be sure to tell the team at mnfatloss.com that Tom Barnard sent you.
Hello, I'm Brad Huckle, President at North American Banking Company.
And I'm Mike Bilski, CEO at North American Banking Company.
As a community bank based right here in the Twin Cities, we believe in taking the time to get to know our customers and their businesses.
And part of that is hiring and cultivating a team of experienced lenders. When your business banks with us, you're not training in a new, inexperienced banker.
In fact, our bankers have worked with many of the same customers for years, earning their trust. We get to know you and your business, and you get to know and rely upon us.
When your business is looking to capitalize on an opportunity or solve a problem, we'll be here to help you.
Tom here. I know Brad and Mike, and I trust that with my banking, they've personally delivered on everything they've just said. So why not bank with my banker, North American Banking Company, a better banking experience, member FDIC, and equal housing lender. Tom Barnard here. Are you ready for some throttle therapy? Cruise the water in luxury on a brand new Bennington pontoon from Power Lodge. Enjoy sunset from the water, entertain the kids, and float on the lakes all summer long. It all starts at the Lodge, the Twin Cities' newest Bennington dealer, the Power Lodge, with locations in Brainerd, Onamia, Ramsey, and Miller Marine of St. Cloud. Hundreds of pontoons in stock across all Power Lodge locations. Your summer fun begins at Brainerd's newest Bennington dealer, the Power Lodge. Enjoy the best days of summer on your favorite lakes in a brand new Bennington pontoon from the Twin Cities' newest Bennington dealer, the Power Lodge in Ramsey, with locations in Brainerd, Onamia, Ramsey, and Miller Marine in St. Cloud, and hundreds of Benningtons in stock across all locations. The Power Lodge is your destination before you hit the lakes this summer and cruise at sunset. Fun begins at the Lodge, the Twin Cities' newest Bennington dealer, the Power Lodge. Get some throttle therapy on land and water, millermarine.com and powerlodge.com, and you can tell them Tommy sent you. I love the fact you have long enough to pee now.
That was amazing timing. I was kind of like, all right, this is what I'm going to bring up. And then all of a sudden you sat down right at that moment.
Touchdown.
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
I will leave that on the YouTube so people can see that you literally put your headphones on the second Amy said, this is the Tom Barnard Morning Show. And you didn't miss a beat.
It was impressive.
Yeah, your butt hit that chair and words were coming out of your mouth simultaneously. That is very impressive, sir.
Color us impressed.
That's like a movie moment. You're like, that would never happen that close.
No, that's true.
It does.
The timing was like that. Now, Kristyn, I need you to do me a favor tomorrow. It just occurred to me, and I was walking down the hall. Tomorrow when you're on with the family, okay, I need you to bring up Father's Day cards. Okay. This actually did happen. And the looks on everyone's face, from Catherine to Alex to Dan to everybody else, they were looking at it like, what the hell is that? So we had Father's Day for me on Saturday because my son is a father and my son-in-law is a father, so they have their own day on Sunday. You give them, they're new, so you give them the day, right?
Yes.
So we had Saturday at our house Father's Day on Saturday at our house, and the kids came over, and both Sage and Fawny made handwritten Father's Day cards for me. And I have no idea what inspired little Fawny at 7 years old. Now, of anybody in the room, obviously, Brittany knows the kids the best. So maybe you can figure this out. All right, Brittany?
I don't know if I can explain their complex brains. I'm very, Fawn is, she's running circles around me already.
I understand. Everybody, not just you, believe me. But so I look at Sage's card first because he brought it over first, and it was Happy Father's Day, bop, bop, I love you. It was a very sweet card. And they're all handwritten, by the way. They were handwritten, a little picture on the front.
Yes.
Those put me in a great mood. Now, here comes the problem, and I have no idea what inspired this, but I thought it was hilarious. But the look of horror on all the grown-ups' faces after I read the card, I looked at the front, and it said, Happy Father's Day, Bop Bop, because they call me Bop. She's the one who came up with the name Bop Bop for me. I don't know based on what, but that's my name, and she came up with it. So it says, Happy Father's Day, Bop Bop. I open it up, and it says, and I quote, You're the king. Now, where would a 7-year-old come up with that? And the look on their faces like, well, I'm the dad, I'm the mom, I'm the grandmother, but you're the king, huh?
You're the king.
The king.
That's a high compliment. I don't know.
It really is. It's like, where did that come from?
I mean, it's better than her writing, you're a disaster.
You're a total disaster, which she will about 10, another 2-3 years, somewhere in there. She'll start writing that. But I was like, it was so incredibly sweet that I teared up. And then she came over, gave me this big hug, made it even worse or better.
Monster. She's a
monster. She's a monster. But I just thought it was so hilarious. Like, where did she come up with that?
Take the adoration before she's like a tween.
As soon as she turns 13, bop, bop, you pain in the ass.
Oh, it's earlier than that. It's like 11 now. So like the tween years are the worst
she's
one.
already got
that's true, yeah.
She's already got an eye roll that will shame you.
Oh, she does.
To know.
Oh, yeah, she does.
I love
it. Like, sometimes I feel like when they come over, I'm like, Fawn, is this outfit lame? Be honest. Like the look you gave me. Do you hate this skirt? Be honest.
Oh, no. Tom, you might only have a year at best.
Yes, this
that might
girl
be it.
is
That might be it.
next leveling everything.
But I would like to mention, honest to God, you guys, I'm sure, went through it. Everybody. But, Kristyn, you don't have any children, correct?
I only have fur babies.
Fur babies, but you still have fur babies. So was there a Father's Day fur baby?
We celebrated by saying Happy Father's Day
There you
with the
go.
cat. Here you go. That's it.
And now you're going to have to call him the king.
Well,
The king.
the king. Kristyn,
starts
I'm the queen, and the queen overrules the king in our house.
it's super annoying because, like, Go-Go's supposed to buy Justin something, but she's, like, really bad at buying gifts. So right
she
now,
is. That's too bad.
right now, not only do I have my own dad, who I have to call, my stepdad, and then I'm supposed to buy Justin gifts from Go-Go or do something from her. So...
Do you know what I saw on social media? And I thought it was hilarious. People would send their toddlers free in like the dollar store.
Yeah.
And whatever they picked up was the gift for dad.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, like one dad got like bladder pads. And
Love that
like,
for him.
I mean, butterfly stickers. It was hilarious. And it was just like $20 worth of kind of like dollar store junk. But it was really funny and cute. And the dad was so sweet when he received it because his daughter picked it out.
The problem is though, like whenever Go-Go buys something for Justin, she always somehow, like something for me always ends up in the basket too.
Oh.
It's really weird.
Yeah.
So Father's Day actually got kind of expensive for us because, she just couldn't stop herself. Why would she?
So your husband got a billfold and you got a new car. Is
Yeah,
that what you're
pretty
saying?
much. He got shorts and I got like a whole workout set.
Really?
It was really weird.
And it's so cute. Like her fashion taste is amazing.
It's pretty spot on.
There's no question
Right
about
size
it.
too.
It's weird.
I do love that stuff. So we have a new neighbor. His name is Brett.
Hey, Brett.
Brett was a professional hockey player in Philadelphia for a long time. I don't know that I'd want to piss Brett off because he's about 6'4" and weighs probably about 260, and it's not fat. I can promise you that.
Rudy, what did you just say about Brett?
Yeah, there you go. What'd you say about him?
Weird. I wouldn't say that about a listener.
This is what I said.
You know I hate fat people. We've never said that.
Touchdown.
Oh, I need access to that computer.
Touchdown on
The
Brittany.
good news, Britt, I can't hear it. So
Perfect.
Yeah.
You're not
Listen.
hearing anything. It's nothing. Oh.
No, it's huge.
Yeah.
It's a life changer.
What's Brett's last name? Do you know, Tom?
I do know, but I don't know if he wants me to say that. or
Oh,
not.
sure, I get that. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, I mean, I will tell you.
Yeah, off air, sure.
I'll
Yeah.
tell you off air, but he comes into the neighborhood and we sit around. In my neighborhood, there are 10 houses around a what are those
Cul-de-sac.
called? Cul-de-sac, yeah. And we get together usually on Friday nights when it's nice out. We all sit together and sometimes we grill out or order pizza or we do whatever we want. Up to 25 people show up and they sit in a big circle of chairs. And Brett took to that immediately. He loves that whole idea. And then he also said, I've been watching for the last few weeks, you and your family, your wife, your son, your daughter, their children. Said, your family's incredibly close, aren't they? I said, yeah, that's everything to me. And I suppose, talking to the two people in the studio here, without having a dad around, you probably promise yourself, when I get older, I'm not going to be like that. Right? Mm-hmm. So I think that's a big part of it. I really do. I love it. I just love hanging out with them. When they accidentally hit me in the store with a ball or something like that, I don't care for that. But,
Yeah, I posted a picture yesterday because everybody was like, "This is me and my dad. And look at this. This is when we were fishing when we were 7." And it's just me just sitting out on the patio by myself with an empty chair, and it just says, "Me and the old man on Father's Day."
Love it. Love it. Somebody actually did send something to me once, which was cold. It was a friend, because my father was institutionalized. Kristyn, I don't know if you know that or not, but there is a picture of me, and I don't know how this guy pulled it off. It was brilliant. It was me looking through the bars at my dad. You couldn't see my dad, but it was just me holding on to these bars.
Sure.
Looking through.
Oh my God.
I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
What are you going to do, fight it? It's true.
Yeah.
He's institutionalized. That's not going to end, so you may as well have fun. I heard the food sucks, but tough titty. Too bad. Right?
I bet it hasn't gotten much better.
No.
Maybe not, but I just... I don't know where she came up with that, but now all of a sudden I'm Elvis, I guess. I don't know what the hell that means.
The king.
The king, man.
that's not a bad nickname.
She's
No.
so sweet. Everybody, honest to God, I got so many great people around me, it's unbelievable. To think other people sit back and look and go, look how lucky I am. I'm not around a bunch of assholes. That's a good thing. And then I come to work here. You knew I was coming with that one.
I was waiting.
That was a given.
I was
Monday
waiting.
through Friday, here we are.
No, but I just, see, that's what I do, reflect on things like that over the weekends. Like, hey, if your life sucks, maybe you should re-examine and change a couple of things, because life doesn't suck. It does not. A lot of people suck. There's no question about that, but try to avoid them. Give them the stiff arm, right? Mm-hmm. It's all true.
Especially in Hollywood.
Well, here is not the greatest either. I will tell you that. There's some nut jobs in this
Minnesota nice.
state.
I got a lot of Minnesota nice when I lived there.
What a joke that Minnesota nice my
Woo,
left.
I was like, that is icy.
If I have to tell you how nice I am, I'm probably not very nice. That's all I have to say. All right, what else you got in Hollywood there, sister?
Well, I think this is kind of interesting, and I know you'll agree with me on this. Over the weekend, The Flash was the big, box office movie that was supposed to, really light up fires, sell a lot of tickets, and it was a huge disappointment. And I think that we're starting to see, and listen, superhero movies are not going away. So Marvel fans, DC fans, don't come at me. But I do think that this is going to be a slowing down, because we're starting to see, like, Shazam didn't do well. Now we have The Flash not doing well. This was a $300 million movie. It made like $55 million at the box office. This is not going to be a winner for them. I mean, that's brutal. And on top of it, anyone who followed what's been happening with the star Ezra Miller, he has been away. for about a year out of the public eye, getting treatment for his mental health, which I think he legitimately did do. He stayed away from the public eye, but he has legal issues. He's had sexual assault allegations.
Right.
They didn't do any promotion with him. He showed up to the premiere as a surprise, took a photo, didn't do any interviews, and away he went. And I think, and I actually should say they, because they, them is Ezra's pronouns. But the big deal with all of this is that we, I think, are starting to see major fatigue when it comes to superheroes. There are always going to be people who are willing to go and dive into the universe and see every single film. But I think that the average person isn't running out to see every single superhero film now.
Good. I'm glad to hear. I only have one superhero. Her name is Kristyn Burtt. Ah! You see how I worked that in? Ah! You got to be smart about it, kids. Let's go.
I saw The Flash. It's good.
Oh, it is?
But halfway through it, I was like, I don't have to ever see another superhero movie again.
Are you done?
I'm so done. It's so much CGI. It's so big. It's so fast. It just keeps moving. You don't even know what's happening in the plot half the time because it's just action after action. I'm just like, you know what? I think I'm done. I think after Iron Man, when Tony Stark dies, spoiler alert, when he passes away.
Well.
That was it.
Endgame was done. You're done.
It should have just been over. Much like when Michael Scott got on that plane in The Office should have been done.
Yeah.
The second Tony Stark, Iron Man dies, that's it. We're just done.
So I made a commitment to Josie. She's 12, lives next door. That we have been watching them in order that they're supposed to be. Like timeline order.
Sure.
And we, it's been a big commitment. I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
I feel like it's part of it's my life now. It's my identity. We just did Black Panther. And I already feel played out. Like, I feel like we get it. There's an enemy that can't be beat, and then somehow we beat them. They can't be beat, and somehow we beat them. And that's...
It's the same plot over and over.
Right?
Yeah.
And also, they keep rebooting. And, I sit there and I think, I don't really want to see anyone else's Iron Man. Robert Downey Jr. was it for me. And I'm not a superhero person, but he got me to the movie theater to go and see him. I don't need to see anyone else in the role if they're going to reboot it, honestly. I'm good.
You know who ruins superhero? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were going to go ahead.
No, I just was going to say, I just think that that's where, if you're seeing like a lot of people are reaching their limit.
Robert Klein ruined superhero movies for me forever, but in a good way. Because I thought he was brilliant. I thought he was hilarious. Because he had a big question. Think back now to the original Superman TV show, which is still on TV. You can still find it. But it was from the 50s, maybe 60s. George Reeve, I think was the guy's name, played Superman.
Yeah.
Robert Klein walks out on The Tonight Show one night and he goes, I got a question about all these Superman characters, people like that. So he stands there and he puts his hands on his hips and you unload 6 bullets into his chest and they all bounce off. But then when you throw the gun at him, he ducks. Which is true, by the way.
Maybe he was just being polite. Like, he had to act like that was going to be kind of scary,
So you'll take 6 bullets to the chest, but when they throw a gun at you, you got to duck? Why?
I don't know.
It doesn't make any sense anyway.
Makes no sense at all.
Yeah. In this movie, The Flash, they have a very nice sort of homage to all the Supermans.
Oh, yeah.
The Christopher Reeves.
Oh, sure,
yeah. And they even have Nick Cage in there, because I don't know if you know the story at all, that they shot part of Superman with Nick Cage as Superman, and the what do you call it? The studio got like its first dailies back, and it looked at it and went, "We're never making this movie," and they canned it. They never made it. So they showed Nick Cage as Superman at some point, and it gets a huge laugh. And I was like, that's funny, because they're kind of poking fun at themselves.
Yeah, like we tried
It's
something
a good
to
inside
film.
joke.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Poor guy.
And Nick Cage, he wanted to play Superman too.
Yeah.
That it was very clear. Like, that was one of the big devastations of his career.
Yeah. Did you guys ever see Hollywoodland, the movie? Oh, it's so good. Yeah, that's a great movie.
So
I did indeed. But you know what? I never saw the end of it because there were 3 about 19-year-olds in the theater, not the old Hopkins Theater, and they would not get off their phones and talking in a full voice.
Sure.
So I finally stood up and screamed, "Shut the F up, or I'm coming down there." 3 guys came and got me and escorted me out of the theater because I threatened them, apparently. So you can destroy the movie for everybody else who paid to get it. maybe I would have destroyed them. I don't know if it kept up. I have no idea. But yeah, I was escorted out of the theater for complaining about their yapper. And there was one part when I was complaining to them, and they dropped something on the ground that made this noise. What the hell was that? It sounded like a cassette.
That was. I was trying to move over to get some Superman music, and I dropped the mouse because nothing's wired in here. It's all wireless.
Oh, sure.
So it slipped out of my hand. So my apologies.
No.
How dare you?
But it
And I
sounded
was
like a
oh, I'm
cassette.
so glad that wasn't me who dropped something.
No, that wasn't the cassette. What's the other one called? The 8-tracks?
Is that what it sounded
sure,
like?
yeah.
Yeah.
When you dropped an 8-track, that's just what it sounded like.
It sounded like, it's all plasticky. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We don't
The
care
sound of
what's
an
on
8-track when you would put it in, it was always a cool sound, though.
Yes,
That-
it was. I agree. No doubt
love
about
that.
it. So we do have TV to watch. That's the good part. We don't have a lot of
and
movies.
have you? I don't know anyone who is a big Hollywood history junkie. There is a great documentary on the 100 years of Warner Brothers. It's on Max right now.
Oh, really?
4 parts. It's all available right now. They dropped, I think, the first 2 and then the second 2, but they're all available now on Max. It is so good. It goes from the very beginning to the start of Warner Brothers all the way up to the present.
Okay, now, you got to tell me there's a huge part of Groucho Marx in there. Because he battled Warner Brothers all the time when he worked for them.
You'll get a little. You'll
Really?
see.
Just a little?
Just a little. Well, you have to go through 100 years.
I suppose they can't. Yeah, they can't waste a lot of time.
They need to do a Groucho Marx, 4-part documentary on himself. So,
Do you ever hear what the 4 guys did to Jack Warner? Because Jack Warner was pissed off at the Marx Brothers over something. He calls him into his office, and then he's not there when they get there. In other words, he's kind of hi-hatting them. I'm going to make them wait for a while before I go see them. He walked into his office about an hour late, and the 4 of them were sitting around on the floor. They had put his furniture in the fireplace because they said it was too cold in there.
Oh, dang.
Now, that's a Groucho move all the way.
Right.
I loved it. Loved hearing
stuff
it.
that doesn't happen in Hollywood anymore.
Oh,
That's the
no,
thing.
no, I could see that not happening.
Everyone would get sued. It would be in litigation. I love those old stories.
Oh God, those stories are the power struggles between the actors and the owners, and it's a hell of. I'm surprised it still exists with the battles that went on.
That Hollywood still exists. It
Yes.
didn't eat itself.
Yes, I thought it would eat itself eventually, but it hasn't so far.
Too much money to eat itself.
That's true. It's a very
Yeah.
good point. I'd like to come home though, and you see your favorite chairs in the fireplace on fire. That's kind of cold, but it's very
good one,
Groucho-like.
though.
Very Groucho-like to do something like that, no doubt. I thought he was one of the most brilliant men ever. Just sitting around ad-libbing, he was hilarious on the Johnny Carson
Yeah, there
show.
are very few people that can ad lib that quick. I mean, Robin Williams would probably be another one that I
Yeah,
would think of.
yeah.
Robin Williams, I never felt like I could keep up with his brain. It was so fast.
In a sad way. Don't you agree?
Yeah.
It was a very sad thing watching him. Did he steal as much material as they accused him of?
Yeah.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Too bad.
So Tammy Pescatelli, who is a friend of mine, last time I was doing shows with her, she was telling some old Robin Williams stories, and she would say that if Robin walked into the store, there would be like rumblings with all the Comedy Store in L.A. that there would be rumblings amongst the other comics like, "Hey, don't do your best material tonight."
Oh, sure.
Because Robin will steal it. And there were times where he would steal a joke and then he'd come back to the store, but he was very good about it because he would steal a joke, but he would always come back to the store and go, "Hey, that joke, I'm going to put it on my special. So here's a check for $1,000. You can take it or leave it." And they would go, "I'll take it."
All right.
Because he's going to do it either way.
Yeah.
Because he's Robin
Right.
Williams, so
Right.
you might as well just take the money. Yeah. So, but yeah, he did it a lot.
That's why God killed
Super
him young.
complicated.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and you don't hear that side because I feel like that's more of like inside baseball side to it. You know what I mean? Where we hear, oh, he was such a wonderful actor, and he was. But you
Yeah.
know what I mean? You hear the dark side of like, oh, his alcohol addiction and drug addiction, but you don't necessarily hear like what he was like within the comedy community.
Right. Didn't I tell you at the beginning not to bring up baseball in front of us because the Twins suck right now? Didn't you hear me when I told you that? No, I'm sure
Care
it's
about baseball.
all
There's
gonna be
no
one.
crying in baseball. Tom.
Yes,
That's
yes.
true. Good point. You're right. That's a very, very good point. No question about it. We need. I don't know what to tell you about this because I've talked about this before, but it's getting to more, I guess in a way, painful because I love going to the movie theaters, but there's nothing for me to see at the movie theaters. Why are they doing this?
Well, it's been pretty interesting. PricewaterhouseCoopers just came out with a survey and kind of a study, I would say, is probably the better word to phrase it. But they're saying that they are not going to recover to pre-pandemic levels of movie attendance. Now they're going to out-earn pre-pandemic levels at the box office because they're going to raise ticket prices to make up for that difference. But even by 2027, people will not be back to the movie theater the way they were in 2019. And Hollywood has to adjust for that. And it's what's going to happen. And this is what we're seeing. A majority of the movies that you will go to see, or if you choose to go to see, are going to be those big blockbusters, bloated budgets, action film. Those are the ones. Everything else is going to wind up primarily on streaming. If they want to be in the Oscar mix, you have to be out for at least 2 weeks in a movie theater in like New York or Los Angeles or Chicago. So those are the smaller movies you'll see. But I don't think we're going to see as many of those like, oh, look, there's something about Mary, which, like a fun comedy, and it becomes a big, huge blockbuster. Those days are over.
They are, aren't they? Now, I just saw a movie with Ray Romano. I can't remember the name of it, but he wrote it, directed it, produced it, starred in it, the whole shooting match. It's about his young son trying to make the college basketball team, and he's falling in love with this young woman. I thought it was a terrific movie, and I would have loved to have seen that movie, but I don't think it was ever in the theaters, was it? His latest movie?
A lot of times they're not, and they go directly to a streamer. I just watched Flaming Hot over the weekend when Eva Longoria directed. I looked at that and I was like, "There's no way they'd put that in a movie theater these days." I mean, it was okay, but it was one of those situations. I'm like, "There's no way they're going to put movies like this in movie theaters. It's too big of a financial risk."
It is that, and that's what it is. It's obviously a money decision. But boy, I would have loved to have sat down with Catherine, because Catherine liked the movie a lot too. To sit down in a movie theater with Catherine with a bucket of popcorn and a soda and watch a movie, I love that experience. But there's just nothing. I don't like superhero movies. I never have.
I think I jumped the gun because I was like, Asteroid City's out this week. It was only out this week in Los Angeles and New York. Sorry about that. But you guys get it this week.
So you lied to us. Typical.
In Minneapolis.
Liar.
And it's done very well on the indie box office. It looks like it's going to be a hit on a small level, as it should. It's only coming out in probably your art house film theaters, but definitely worth taking a look at. It's done really well so far. And if you're looking for a smaller movie to go to, instead of going to all of your The Flash and everything else, we've got, Indiana Jones coming up soon. We've got, Mission Impossible coming up soon. You got Oppenheimer. We got a lot of big movies. Asteroid City should be like a fun, quieter movie if you want to go to the movie theater, sit in the cool theater, and have some popcorn.
By the way, this movie's called Somewhere in Queens.
Yeah.
That's the name of the movie. Have you seen it?
I haven't yet. I just looked it up, though, because I love Ray Romano.
I do, too.
Such a fan.
He's my neighbor.
Is he really?
Wow. Is he really?
Yes, he lives the street behind me.
That's awesome. He did a movie with Mark Duplass called Paddleton.
I've never seen that.
Very indie movie. It was written by Mark Duplass. Him and his brother both wrote it, and he starred in it with Ray Romano. One of the best indie films I think I've seen.
Ooh, Mark Duplass is so good too.
He's great. When he did Looking for a Friend for the End of the World, that movie was so good. I
love him on the morning show.
Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah, you'll love that guy. But that movie with him and Ray Romano it's very emotional. Like, don't watch it with somebody you don't want to cry in front of, because waterworks were coming out that day.
Yeah, but I cry in front of Brittany every day because I have to work with her.
He immediately breaks into tears, and I say, "Get to work, make me money, King."
The King after. Oh God, I'm gonna hear that.
King.
Morning King.
Morning King with Fawny. What the hell? All right, sister. Well, another great report as always. But so we're just not going to get back into movie theaters, are we?
Not the way you used to. So,
God, I loved
honestly,
it.
the way you used to go to the movie theater, you waved goodbye to that in 2019 before the pandemic.
That's too bad, because that was a great experience to go in, and particularly with the little kids. The last one went and saw Puss in Boots with the grandkids. It was about a month ago, something like that, maybe.
Why don't you go take them to see Elemental? Pixar's film just came out.
Yeah, that's probably what we will do, because I got to go to the theater. I love
And I don't think family movies are going to go away from the box office. That's such an experience.
Good.
And I think, Pixar, Disney, DreamWorks, they're all going to continue to come out with family animated films.
I am glad to hear that because, it's a great experience. There are some people who've never been to a movie now. I met a guy who's never been in a movie theater. It's like, what?
That's sad. That's such an experience.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful experience. Like, what do you mean He said, well, my family just never went to the movies, and now there's nothing to go see at the movies, so I don't go now.
But you
That's
have
too
to have
bad.
that like one experience of sitting in the dark with like a tub of popcorn, greasy butter.
Oh, and just like a gallon of pop.
And by the way,
so
if you've
good.
never gone to a movie theater in the ghetto, you got to go. Because it's nothing like going to a movie anywhere else. Because everybody's talking back to the screen. They're making noise. They're ridiculing.
New York City's like that. When I lived in New York.
Oh, yeah. Murray Hill Theater, sister. I used to go to the Murray Hill Theater. and it
Times Square, you have not been to a real movie until
That's
the rats
true.
are running under your feet while you're watching Titanic.
I'm going to go ahead and pass on that. If somebody who had to live with rats in Iraq, I will not. I will not go to a theater.
Come on.
No.
One thing I don't miss about New York is subway rats.
Ew.
Well, that's good.
They better pay their
And
fare,
like,
is all I'm saying.
You have like a piece of pizza, and they'd be like dragging it along.
Yes,
and
Jesus.
it's fun.
Oh.
Look, I'm just trying to catch the #1 train.
And then we romanticize only in New York.
I know, and I go back to New York now, and I'm like, I miss it so much. I weep for it.
I love New York. Absolutely loved living there. But my favorite of all time is when that rat has a full piece of pizza taking it up the stairs.
It's like, I'm going to take this to go. Hope you don't mind. Oh,
He's
my
literally
God.
taking it to go. He literally is taking it to go.
Pizza rat is a real thing.
Pizza, it is a real thing. You're absolutely right. Oh, that's right. It is called Pizza Rat, isn't it? The video itself. That's very, very cool. But I don't know. I guess I'll just go see kid shows in a movie theater but man, it was one of my great memories being a kid, going to the movies at the Broadway, the Empress, and there were so many great theaters to go to back in the day.
Kristyn, tomorrow, will you give us a heads up what is going on with Elemental? Because I feel like that was one that went under the radar for advertisements, and was that their plan and how they did well in the theaters and things like that tomorrow?
Yeah, absolutely, because there's a whole story behind that.
Oh, I'd love to hear that.
You bet.
Thanks.
All right, I'm going to go burst into tears because there are no movies coming out that I want to see. It's unfortunate.
You don't want to see Asteroid City? Wes Anderson's so good.
Barbie is coming up.
And Barbie.
Oh, that's
Barbie's
right.
Gonna
Let
be a
me
big one.
rush to see Barbie.
Oh, you shush your
You're
mouth.
gonna like the snarkiness of it. It's very snarky.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Well, maybe I would
Yeah.
like that then.
Yes.
Because I've never been snarky.
It's very inside baseball.
Okay.
Don't say it again. Kristyn, run! Get out of here! Get out! I don't need you in the
Even
line
my
of
cat are
fire.
leaving. That's it.
You in London, get out.
The kitty's back. Kitty.
She's always here. She sleeps. She has a little bed next to me here when I broadcast.
But she usually hops up in your lap, but she hasn't been doing that lately. She's sick of me.
No, she has a little bed next to me right here.
Does she go, Catman? Does she do that?
That's it. She knows your origin story.
Then it's all
I'll
true.
have her speak into the mic.
No,
Roar.
we're not trying to pay her to, Kristyn, so get her out of here.
All right, Pally, we'll talk to you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Thanks a lot. Kristyn Burtt, ladies and gentlemen. Take a break. Be right back. Chris Egert is up next. This is Tommy B for our new advertiser, Niemeyer Trailer Sales. They've been a part of Minnesota since 1965. The name says it all. They are family. If you want to take your passion on the road and make memories camping wherever you want, no motors but pulled trailer RVs, go to Niemeyer Trailer Sales. Father Jim Sr. started the business, and now brother and sister team Tim and Lisa handle Albertville with Jim Jr. at the helm, of course, in Elko New Market. The best name in non-motorized RVs with great deals on the best brands like Rockwood and Northwood. Niemeyer Trailer Sales truly outservices their competition with personable employees, often sons and daughters of this third-generation family-owned business, who simply do what they say they will do every time because their names are on the building. And with a huge selection in RV service pros, you will receive satisfied. You're going to leave the place satisfied. You receive great business. You will leave satisfied no matter what you're looking for. They take care of every memory maker, customer that comes in their Albertville or Elko New Market location. Head to NIEMEYERS.com and put your passion on the road. Niemeyer Trailer Sales.
The new Tom Barnard Morning Show is proud to have partners like North American Banking Company, Bradshaw and Bryant, MyPillow, and attorney and advertiser Dave Bielke.
I've been advertising on Tom Barnard shows for years. I like Tom, not just because he's a good guy, but because the ads I run on his show bring me new clients that are hurt at work and need legal help. Tommy B works for me.
Grow results for your business by partnering with the Tom Barnard Morning Show. Visit tombernardshow.com, keyword partner.
You need to know a guy for your auto repairs, legal issues, banking, and more. The same goes for investment advice. You need a guy to help you be successful, someone you can trust, who gets results. Well, I got a guy for you, Josh Arnold. Josh gives you straight talk, not sugar-coated advice about your financial situation. Josh has seen it all when it comes to economic and market conditions, and Josh can make sure that your retirement objectives match your investments. Do yourself a favor and call Josh now for a no-obligation, 48-minute evaluation. You've got nothing to lose, and you'll get a different point of view for your investments. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. That is 952-925-5608. You'll be glad that you did. And tell him his guy, Tom, sent you.
Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC, a security investment advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. Tom Barnard is a paid endorser.
There's plenty of thoughts that come into your head when you think the name Killebrew. Of course, there's the Minnesota baseball legend, Harmon, who was responsible for many a favorite memory at the old Met Stadium in Bloomington, and many a baseball that ended up in the stands and in the gloves of adoring fans from his home runs. There's Killebrew Drive, the legendary road that connects Highway 77 to the Mall of America, and a day of shopping you'll never forget. My current thoughts for the name Killebrew is fun floats in our kitchen with my kids and grandkids, a cool, refreshing break in between innings at Target or CHS Field. Or maybe a perfect sunset paired with a sweet, frothy beverage after fishing or on your favorite walleye lake. Killebrew root beer and cream soda. Grab a six-pack at a grocery or convenience store near you. I'm Tom Barnard. This spring and summer, enjoy the one Killebrew root beer and cream soda. Gluten and caffeine-free with a generous portion of delicious thrown in. Killebrew, where memories are created and legends are made. Tom Barnard here. Are you ready for some throttle therapy? Cruise the water in luxury on a brand new Bennington pontoon from Power Lodge. Enjoy sunset from the water, entertain the kids, and float on the lakes all summer long. It all starts at the Lodge, the Twin Cities' newest Bennington dealer, the Power Lodge, with locations in Brainerd, Onamia, Ramsey, and Miller Marine of St. Cloud. Hundreds of pontoons in stock across all Power Lodge locations. Your summer fun begins at Brainerd's newest Bennington dealer, the Power Lodge. Enjoy the best days of summer on your favorite lakes in a brand new Bennington pontoon from the Twin Cities' newest Bennington dealer, the Power Lodge in Ramsey, with locations in Brainerd, Onamia, Ramsey, and Miller Marine in St. Cloud, and hundreds of Benningtons in stock across all locations. The Power Lodge is your destination before you hit the lakes this summer and cruise at sunset. Fun begins at the Lodge, the Twin Cities' newest Bennington dealer, the Power Lodge. Get some throttle therapy on land and water, millermarine.com and powerlodge.com, and you can tell them Tommy sent you. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Chris Egert now joins us. News brought to you by Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. Call Josh for your free 48-minute financial evaluation. Just had lunch with Josh on Friday. Had a great time talking about, God, we used to run into each other all the time. First time was like 40 years ago, I think, something like that. But
dang.
Josh is a good man. There's no question about it. And he said all these nice things about me at lunch. And then when I said goodbye, I gave him a little hug. And he goes, "Oh, we're hugging." And I said, "Well, I'm not going to let you say all those nice things about me and then not acknowledge it."
Oh, we're hugging. That's always a very weird moment as you're hugging. I guess.
Sorry.
Then you're like, I can't reverse out of it. I could act like I was sneezing.
No. I did it on purpose. If
Yeah.
I put you in a headlock or a hug, you're going to know it.
Yeah, I think you'll be aware.
That's how it should be. Professor, he doesn't have his glasses on anymore. He's not professor anymore.
I'm in a weird, I need him to read the teleprompter, but I'm just close enough to the screen where I'm kind of not really sure what to do here.
I want to thank you again publicly because I got up this morning at about, 20 to 6, something like that. As I'm getting ready, I watched the news.
Okay.
Chris, I am here to tell you, I cannot watch either CNN nor Fox. I can't watch it. It's just garbage on there now. So I tune into Channel 5 every day, and I see you being all professorial with your glasses, you know. But no, I am hoping, and I think this is probably true, local news will never go away because how are we going to make it without local news, right?
I mean, I would like to think so, but it's such a generational thing that
it is.
I know our viewership and TV news viewership is very strong, but when you start getting into the younger demographics, I mean, my kids don't turn the TV. I mean, they know what I do for a living, but that's not where they go to get their information. So I don't know. It's I'm just hoping to get another 10, 15 years out of it.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. So do you think, God, I hope kids aren't getting their news off the internet. Ugh, Jesus.
Getting in freaking TikTok, man.
Yeah, that's not a good idea at all.
You guys are sounding so old right now.
Oh, the TikTok, we should trust TikTok because the Chinese are so nice to us?
I'm just saying that if you don't pivot with things, you're going to get left behind. Clink.
So you think it's a good idea to move toward TikTok just so we don't look old-fashioned?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that you
You're
can't condemn a whole generation for getting their news a different way.
Yeah. I bet people back in the 40s were like, look at all these youngsters getting their news from the TV. I read my news from the paper.
That's the devil's box, if you ask me.
Well, that's not what I said at all for both of you. So you can both
It's
kiss
definitely
my
not what
ass.
Tom said. But
That's not what I said at all. But the two of you are too dim to understand that.
Yeah, because I get my news from TikTok and then I do a dance.
There's a shock. You probably do get your news from TikTok. Here, we'll sell Brittany some other shit that's worthless.
Thank you. I'll buy. Makes my hair shinier? Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
I took it off my phone because its algorithm is so amazing. Like it's horrifying and it's awesome all at the same time. It's like you like one little person video and then all you're seeing now is little person videos that just keep coming up. That's my new funny thing on Instagram.
God,
Where it's like a little person throwing it shows throwing a shot put and then it cuts to another shot and it's like a pea that hits a guy in the face.
Oh Jesus! Boy, you guys have
I
some
like
fascinating
one of those
life.
videos and now that's the only thing that comes into my stupid feed.
I'm worried for you. This is a dark mind we've just
Why,
entered.
Tom, I'm with you. Like that, it's not a good place to be going.
I have no interest at all in. First of all, like I said, you look at that, and everybody, the things they say about you or they think they're talking to you, they would never say that in public, in person. They would never do that. So what value does it have?
Yeah,
It's a bunch of candy asses running off at the mouth that we're supposed to acknowledge that? No.
Yeah.
No way.
I like Facebook Marketplace.
I do love Facebook Marketplace.
That might be the only reason I keep Facebook.
Now, what is that?
It's like a modern Craigslist because Craigslist is so wonky and you have to send an email, but sometimes there's a delay on it and there's a filter and you can't necessarily reach out to people directly. Facebook Marketplace is pretty slick. You can just instantly message them and they get back. Well, generally they get back to you pretty quickly. So that to me is what's keeping Facebook going. In my own opinion, I realize people still use it for other things, but.
So I do have a question because our and I think it's worldwide. I know it certainly is a big story in America.
Yeah.
That because of exactly what you guys are talking about, if you're getting your news from the internet, you're a very poor student now. Do you see that? Do you see the student ratings on reading and arithmetic and things like? They're the all-time worst they've ever been, and it's because of social media. Or the internet, I should say.
I think a lot of people are going to say that comes back to COVID and some of you don't think so?
No. It's just a lot easier. People always take the easy way out now. So what I do is take the easy way out and watch Chris Egert at 5 o'clock in the morning. Or 5:30 maybe it is. I guess it's 5:30. Are you on at 5 too?
We go on now at 5:30, but the
5:30.
The news starts at 4:30. Meg and I go on an hour later because we're doing Minnesota Live from 9 to 10. So,
also times have changed. Drive times, you know.
Yeah, that's right. That's true.
Yeah,
Yep.
it used to be so much earlier, and now people either work from home or they don't go into the office until 9 or 10.
You guys saw that, and you see that in morning radio, how the dynamic has shifted so much there with just people's lifestyles are different now and their work is different.
Well, that just came from Hubbard on this show. First show to ever start at 7 a.m. Huh? What do you think of that?
Is it really?
I don't know of any other one that ever started at 7. Maybe they have, but I'd never heard of one.
Yeah. Well, it makes
Possibly.
perfect sense to me. I mean, you do see it, and you see. I mean, I work weird hours, so it's hard for me to say, but I know I'm driving in the afternoon a lot, and like it seems like the rush hour goes on in the afternoon from about 2 in the afternoon until about 7, which is weird. It used to be more consistent, and I don't know. It's all over the place. It's like movie theaters. You guys were talking about that too. Like, I don't know. Will movie theaters ever go back to what they were like pre-COVID? Probably not.
No,
It's just
not going to happen.
things are different. I haven't been to a movie since then.
I've been to a couple with the kids' movies, though.
Yeah.
I've seen kids. I don't think I've seen. Have you guys seen any dramas or anything like that?
I saw The Batman. When
Was that good?
Yeah, when I was pregnant, and it was great. It was super good.
That's good.
But it was like 5 hours long, so I had to go pee about 14 times during it.
5 hours, even longer than The Godfather.
It
That's
felt
not-
so long, but
was
again,
long.
I just had to pee constantly. But
Was it a couple of hours?
It was. I think it was 3 hours long. Or did I make that up?
See, it's close. I think maybe 2:45, almost 3. Yeah,
It
it's
was
long.
crazy. At some point, I was like, we get it. But it was good. I actually really enjoyed it.
It was good.
Yeah.
I got to be honest with you. I spent $20 on John Wick 4, and I still haven't watched it.
Mm-hmm.
It's 3 hours long.
Yeah.
It's like, why are you doing this to me? So I already paid for it, but I haven't watched it.
I feel like you could sell that to Bob. He'd buy it from you.
Yeah, probably true. That's
Bob
right.
Sansevere is so into John Wick.
Sandy.
He loves John Wick.
Sandy loves a movie.
He loves a movie.
He does.
It's rare I'll hear him say that a movie is bad. He'll just be like, "Yeah, I watched it. It was great. That was fine." You know, like
Everything's great.
Yeah, Bob's not exactly a good critic.
But luckily for us, streaming television has picked up the pace and picked up the slack. It's phenomenal.
Oh heck yeah!
God, is it good?
It's so good.
You get no matter what you like, you can get it in large volume.
Are you and Catherine still on Shrinking? Did you guys still?
Yeah, we
following that
went
one
back.
up?
We went back to it.
Yeah,
because
yeah. My mom's been watching Go-Go a bunch, and so she's been watching. I already watched the whole series, and she's been watching it, and she just laughs so hard at it.
Well, there's two of the shows right in the middle that just sucked. They're all noisy and jumping around. It just got really sappy and weird for 2 episodes.
Yeah.
But then it returned, and it's good now again.
It's funny.
Yep, it is.
Harrison Ford is hilarious.
I like
in
every.
it.
Oh, he's terrific in that
Yeah.
show. He's very, very good, and I love everybody in the damn show.
Yeah.
But it just for a couple episodes, it got just I don't know. Maybe they went on vacation and wrote their own crap or something. I don't know
Maybe.
what happened.
I like the idea. Whenever you say it's jumping around, I just have this image of actors just kind of like on.
It's kind of what they were doing.
But yeah.
They were jumping around. Yeah, there are so many great, and you find new stuff every day. Every day you can go. We just found that show, the British show Prey. It's really good, but I don't even know how I just happened upon it.
Chris, with your schedule and your wifey, do you guys watch stuff together, or have you just given up that completely?
We haven't watched anything together for like at least 10 years.
Okay.
I'm not kidding.
That's wild.
We started watching the last season of Ted Lasso, or what is presumably going to be the last.
Right.
And so about every 3 Saturday nights, we might get like an hour to be able to do that. So that's the last thing I think we watched together. The last thing we watched prior to that, it was 10 years ago. So not even this shift is great for some things, but watching stuff with your wife, this is not a good shift for that.
You guys should just watch things at different times and write each other elaborate emails about your feels on it, like a synopsis.
Yeah. Catherine has her shows and I have my shows, but most of the shows we watch together, Catherine and I think a lot alike. I suppose because we've been together for 42 years, that probably would change the way you think, I guess. But yeah, we have the same political views, kind of right down the center, and not wild about far left or far right. Not, we watch the same. Is that just a lucky thing, or did I just cave in? Is that what you're thinking?
Probably a little bit of both, right?
Okay.
But I would say definitely lucky though, because
she's unbelievable. Went to dinner with Ralph Basham, Basham Cosmetic Surgery. He and his lovely wife and Catherine and I went to dinner last night. Went to Baccio, as a matter of fact, out by Ridgedale. Phenomenal. Did a great job. And just, we were talking about all these different things. My friends, and it's not just everybody kind of just falls in together. We just happen to agree on a lot of things. We had a very pleasant conversation.
Did you ever start Last of Us? Did you jump on that one?
What is Last of Us?
That's the one with Pedro Pascal, and it's kind of zombie-esque, but it's like a fungi and post-apocalyptic kind of world.
Not my kind of deal.
It's pretty dang good.
Is it really?
Yeah.
It's zombies, though?
It's not like, oh, and they make the clicking noise, too. There's clicker zombies, so when you did that, I thought you were trying to make that noise.
Yeah.
They're super spooky, but it's more of survival story than it is. You'll have these scary zombies, but they really sprinkle them in a deliberate way.
So do the zombies all do like middays? Is that what it is?
Hey-oh.
What? I'm just asking a question.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I think you'd like it.
Did you watch Mrs. Maisel, Tom?
I watched the first couple of seasons, didn't care for it.
No? Oh, man, it's so good.
That's your jam.
Catherine
That's
loves
like
it.
your favorite,
Yeah.
which makes sense. It's your industry.
Yeah, I just finished it yesterday. Finally got to the end.
I think Catherine did too.
And how did you feel like the end was?
It's so made up for the Barry ending.
I thought that's a term. Like
No, 'cause
the berry was worth the squeeze or something.
because
the show berry.
Yeah, the show Barry with Bill Hader, because that is 4 seasons and 7 episodes of the best television that has ever been made, and then that last episode sucks so bad.
That's what I heard.
It's awful, but boy, Mrs. Maisel really made up for it. The way it ends exactly the way you want it to. You're super pumped up, and it leaves you with such a nice feeling afterwards. And it's so much a love story between 2 people about a comedian and her agent than it is more than anything. It's great.
That's awesome. That's how I feel like Succession did a good job with their ending too. Like it's the only way it could have ended. Period.
Never watched that either.
I know, and you would love that.
That's what everybody tells me. I would love that show.
Like,
I think the 3rd season, I watched the first 2 seasons of Mrs. Maisel. I thought were good. The 3rd season I didn't like at all.
Oh.
So did something happen? I don't remember.
Yeah, because then she really starts, they really get in deep with the Lenny Bruce storyline, and then how they all become friends, and then what happens with the 2 of them, and her ex-husband Joel then kind of starts dating, and he's engaged to a woman, and then there's all these dynamics of new people that she's been hanging out with, and I don't know, I think they just did a really good job with it. Obviously,
Catherine loves it.
Yeah, as a comic, it does kind of make you upset that they just make it look like, all you do is just get up there and grab a microphone and just talk, and then people laugh, and you become a billionaire, and you're
that's
like,
what I assume.
There you go.
It drives me nuts. But the show unto itself is actually very good.
What she says, she absolutely. I did watch the first 2 seasons. I like what's his name, Tony Shalhoub.
Yes,
I really like him a lot. He's really, really good. But I don't know. There's once in a while it just happens with me. I really like something, then I watch an episode and it's like, oh God, that sucked. Maybe it's me. You know.
Yeah, I started. It's weird. Like I went. What was the one with the house bride's Handmaid's Tale?
Yeah.
Oh sure.
Like, I loved the first couple seasons of that, and then it took a break and it came back. Once I got away from it, I could not get into it. Like I tried and I was like, didn't. So I don't know how it ended. I don't know what happened.
Right. Yeah, because I read the book, and in the first season was the book was completely just the book through and through, and it was so thought out. The second season, I thought they did a good job. And then I feel like they were like, okay, we have to take this somewhere it doesn't need to be. And I'm with you, Chris. Like I don't know what they were going for. And it felt like they should have really just done a complete start to finish and thought out the whole, like maybe 3 seasons top. But there was a book then that The Handmaid's Tale, it's like the finality of it. And that book was good. Like I would say that would have been a continuation of the story and enough to just be done with it.
Yeah, it definitely that kind of television. Well, it's impacted our industry too, because people have become. People aren't appointment viewers anymore. They watch when it's convenient for them, right? Like Tom, you guys watch whatever shows you're streaming. You guys watch it when it's convenient to you. It's not a matter of you sitting down in front of the TV every night at 9 o'clock, Matlock's on, better sit down and get in front of the TV. And it just doesn't work that way anymore. No,
it doesn't. You sit down. Catherine and I do that every night, as a matter of fact. Hey, you want to watch a couple of things? This one's 45 minutes. This one's an hour. You know, because I still go to bed at about 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, so I don't want to stay up much later than that. But, yeah, we really enjoy it, and we tend to like she's got her shows, and I got my shows, but most of the things we like watching together. Absolutely.
Sure.
Which is fun to watch little TV with Catherine. And then the dogs.
Anybody going to Taylor Swift this weekend?
Yes. I mean, I might be. Yeah, maybe I'll make it over there. Yes, I'm going Friday night. So is Rudy's sister and Kinley, his daughter. And we are going to meet up. We've already traded bracelets, so I've already got that done.
What?
You know, I made you those friendship bracelets.
Oh, God, I thought I threw that away because no, I have it. I know right where it is.
I could tell that after you said it, you felt bad.
I didn't feel bad. It was
yeah,
a
you
joke.
did.
The joke just didn't land.
No.
That was the problem.
You said it, and you're like, "Oh, that was." I am very excited about the concert. We've already kind of made game plans about how to get there, and we're a little nervous. Anything about the light rail? Are they going to throw in a later one?
Haven't heard anything developing that yet.
Idea.
So
it's a good idea.
Which is a big controversy, right? I don't know. I could go both ways on that because I'm also thinking like a majority of the people who are going to be there they've all become accustomed to not riding light rail because they're scared of it or whatever it might be. Like, I'm kind of wondering if it was running, how many people will actually use it other than, maybe people like you, Brittany, who have done it before.
Yeah.
You know what the deal is. You're not scared of it. Like during a big event like this, it's the best way to get in and out of there.
Oh, hands down. And the thing is, I know there's like a lot of younger people going, but at the same time, there's a lot of 30 and 40-year-olds that are going who would be elated. But it's nerve-wracking to take it there if you don't know how you're going to get back to your car. So I think unless they announce that soon, everybody's making other plans, which means everybody's having somebody pick them up, which is going to be utter chaos.
Oh, for sure.
I'm taking the bus. I'm parking far away and taking the bus because buses go until about 12:30 at night. And I would highly recommend anybody taking the bus because buses will always get you there.
Yeah,
buses are like driving on half the sidewalk. They will get you to your destination. So I hope they throw in just a couple more light rails just to give people the option of going that route.
Yeah, I will see. I mean, if they're going to do something, they're going to have to do it very soon here now. So, and then what else was that? Oh, the Attorney General's office put out a thing about Taylor Swift tickets that they're seeing all kinds of scams. What they say all around the country.
Yep.
So if you think you're getting some last minute, good deal, last minute tickets, be careful. Don't use a Venmo or something like that to pay for them.
Yes, right.
Use a credit card because then you may have a chance to get the money back. But
PayPal's good about that too. PayPal's really good about fighting to get your money back. So yeah, I would say those are good routes to go. Anybody is your daughter going, Chris? No, she's not a Taylor Swift fan.
Likes the Deftones and weird. She's. I was not into it, but she said a bunch of her friends are going. So, I don't know.
Don't you call the Deftones weird? They are a great band.
Yeah, they're great.
Oh no, I'm not. I was just weird. It popped up. I'm like, you like the Deftones? She's like, yeah. I'm like, okay.
It's
cool.
definitely not. She's not the demo. That is impressive.
Yeah. Yeah. I was in the hospital once when I was like 14, the day a new Deftones record came out, and it's called Around the Fur. And my mom goes, "Is there anything I can get for you?" And I was like, "Can you go out to Sam Goody and buy Deftones Around the Fur?" And my mom's like, "Yes, I'll do that." So she went out there to go buy me the new record. And she walks up to this young kid and goes, "Excuse me, young man, I'm looking for this album from a band called the Deftones. It's called Fur Around the Hole."
Fur Around the Hole, yes. Perfect title.
So your mom bought you porn. That's the conclusion.
Yeah, she came back and she was like, I was so embarrassed. I didn't know what it was called. I just said Fur Around the Hole. And the guy's like, "Ma'am, do you mean around the fur?" And she's like, "Okay, whatever.
Just get me out of it.
I want to
leave." What is Around the Fur? What does that mean?
I have no idea, but that's the name of the record. It's just called Around the Fur. Yeah, I have
she
no
might
idea.
have been right though.
Yeah. So, but it was funny because she was so embarrassed because my mom is just like the sweetest, most Christian woman ever. And the fact that she said this, it came out of her mouth, and she was so embarrassed.
That's funny. My grandma bought me Purple Rain. She bought me the Purple Rain cassette. It's still one of my favorite memories of her. And I'm like thinking, God, if she heard Darling Nikki or
she knew what was on that tape. Oh my God.
The sweetest woman in the world. And I'm like,
were you really excited? Was that something you wanted?
Yeah, it was super cool. I remember we were like Shopko or someplace like that and got the old cassette.
That's
big.
So sweet.
Yeah, that was big.
Magnificent.
Yeah, well, I don't know. There's all sorts of stuff going on, but most of it's really sad and depressing, so we'll just leave it at that.
Nice.
Well, I'm looking at the front page of the Star Tribune. Every story is depressing as a son of a bitch.
Well, he had like those five girls killed on Friday night. It's just absolutely heartbreaking.
Yeah,
and
well,
there's all sorts of stuff floating around on social media about who the driver of the car was. People have probably heard that. I think we're waiting to get the name from police, which I don't think they've released it yet. So
I have a question for you, and I'm not going to throw any names out there, but from what I was told, if it is the same kid they think that it is, that he already was in jail for killing another person. So you saw the same thing.
Yeah.
So he's killed 6 people.
I don't know. I don't know where we're at on the gathering of. I do know that if the police would have put out the name, I'm assuming we would have said it. So I'm not sure where we're at on that. But that's going to be something that's going to be developing in the next couple of days.
You know, it's interesting. They do mention the name in the Star Tribune, though.
Is it in this morning's?
I'm pretty sure that's exactly where I saw it.
I'll have to go look. I didn't.
Yeah, I don't want to hang it on anybody until we know for sure that's who it is, obviously.
For sure.
But 5 young Somali girls, actually. And they weren't they on their way to some celebration with their friend? I think that's what they were doing.
They're all just, young, beautiful girls. And
very sad.
I'm going to go eat donuts on Minnesota Live right now, though, so that'll be
all
cool.
right. Well, donut it up, buddy.
All right. Happy Donut Monday.
Happy Donut Monday with Chris Egert, ladies and gentlemen. Whatever the hell that means. Keep your glasses on so you can see the donut, okay?
So you look smart, even though you're saying some real dumb stuff.
I don't think he looks that smart either. I just think, it's one of those.
I think he looks dapper. I like you in glasses.
Listen, it's thank you, blood pressure. I'm going to get that taken care of by eating donuts.
By walking?
Yeah, that'll help a lot.
Get your steps in?
Yes, and walking. All right, guys, have a good day.
Sounds good. Chris Egert, ladies and gentlemen. The news brought to you by Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. Call Josh for your free 48-minute financial evaluation. Chris Egert. We shall take a break. Be right back, continuing right after this.
This is the Tom Barnard Morning Show.
This is Tom Barnard for Niemeyer Trailer Sales. They've been a part of Minnesota since 1965, and their name says it all. They are family. If you want to take your passion on the road and make memories camping wherever you want, no motors, but pulled trailer RVs, go to Niemeyer Trailer Sales. True story. The very best brands live at Niemeyer's. Like the latest from Rockwood by Forest River, #1 in their class, whether you want a tent trailer, expandable, travel trailer, or a fifth wheel, Niemeyer Trailer Sales has it all. Plus, they deliver on the forgotten art of customer service with personable employees, often sons and daughters of the third-generation family-owned business who simply do what they say they will do every time. Come explore their huge selection and consult with RV service pros. You will leave satisfied no matter what you are looking for. The Niemeyer family welcomes you to visit both of their locations in Albertville and Elko New Market before your next vacation. Head to NIEMEYERS.com and put your passion on the road. Niemeyer Trailer Sales.
Ready, set, summer. Hi, Judd Zolgad here. The unofficial start of summer, well, it's here. Whether you're heading to the beach, the ballpark, or a barbecue, summer is more fun when you are feeling your best. Let Livia Weight Control Centers help you make the most of our beautiful summer days. Join Livia's doctor-recommended program today and get 8 weeks free. That's right, 8 weeks for free. You could lose up to 15 pounds or more by the 4th of July. I lost 40 pounds on this program a couple of years back, and I'm going to tell you the most important thing. The dietitians and nutritionists at Livia are going to help you maintain weight loss. We've all lost weight, right? Inevitably, it feels like it comes back. Not with this program. It has done right by me, and I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to do right by you. you. Summertime is here, and Livea wants you to make the most of it. Call 855-GO-LIVEA or visit LiveaLivea.com. Join today and get 8 weeks for free. Again, 15 pounds or more lost by the 4th of July. Are you kidding me? Call 855-GO-LIVEA. Livea voted Minnesota's best weight loss program 2 years in a row. Check them out to lose the weight.
Guys, I want to let you know about acoustic wave therapy protocol provided by my new sponsor, Twin Cities Premier Health. It's a non-invasive, non-surgical, highly effective, science-based procedure that creates an increase in blood flow and helps create new blood vessels by treating the root cause of most erectile dysfunction. Unlike using a pill to create a pharmaceutically induced erection, they treat the root cause of the problem. Age-related erectile dysfunction is most commonly caused by a buildup of plaque in the arteries that supply blood to the erectile tissue. Reach out to Twin Cities Premier Health like I did, and right now receive this special offer, a free treatment and a free consultation when you book today. That is valued at $800. 952-395-4346. That's my unique phone number, 952-395-4346 for their office, or go to TwinCitiesPremierHealth.com, and please be sure to tell them that Tom Barnard sent you. It is indeed. All right, I gotta catch up with some stuff with you guys because I'm trying to figure out my week.
Yeah.
Is that boat trip, that's this week?
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
But if you didn't well, you probably could get away with it. I was going to say, if you didn't RSVP.
Yeah.
I think you could get away. I think you could get on that boat if you needed to.
Well, if I didn't RSVP, I might have to skip it then.
No, I think they would let you on the boat.
What time is that again? And where are we supposed to be? We're supposed to be at Hubbard or something by some certain time?
You can leave with the shuttle from Hubbard, but you can also drive yourself. It is kind of a pain to park around there because I have been there before. But but just because of my schedule, because I basically have to leave from there and then go north after that. So I'm going to have to drive,
That sounds so romanticized. Then I have to head north.
So what time do you have to be at Hubbard to be on the bus?
I think 12:30.
12:30?
Yeah.
Okay, so I can make that.
Yeah.
And then we get back around 5 or something? Mm-hmm. And then we have something else. Is that next week?
That's the following week, next Wednesday, the 28th.
Oh, so there's 21st and 28th week.
Yeah, so Wednesday we have a thing with Hubbard, and then the three of us have a thing next Wednesday that we got to do behind the scenes. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I just have Rudy hangs. That's it. Oh, that was a video thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So that's your week.
Rudy hangs.
I don't know when I put it in or why I put it in, but it says Rudy hang.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know. He just said, I thought we were doing something that I had to not leave here for.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's Wednesday and Wednesday and Wednesday.
Yes.
So 21st, 28th.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I just want to make sure I got all that stuff. I literally, honest to God, I've been working like 12, 14 hours a day, and I am exhausted still.
Hey, you want to go to a live broadcast on this Thursday? You want to go to Chanhassen Dinner Theater with me?
No, I do not.
All right.
So what are you going to see at Chanhassen Dinner Theater?
Lori and Julia doing a live broadcast.
Oh, are they really?
I feel like you'd love it.
Is that
I feel
an
like you and
afternoon deal?
Catherine would love going.
That's an after. And where is it?
Chanhassen Dinner Theater.
Oh, they are? Okay, so that's not that far from my house
15
anyway.
minutes from your house, tops.
What time?
3 to 6. But you don't have to be there the whole time. Just pop in.
3 to 6.
Catherine get a big old glass. They serve wine. The wine that they serve is in like a giant.
Mm-hmm. Oh, is that right?
Goblet.
I know Catherine, she knows Julia better than Lori, I think. Though.
She met both of them at my baby shower.
I think she talked to Julia more than.
It'd be pretty epic if you rolled in.
Oh man.
To the live broadcast.
Why would they care?
Because they like you.
No, they don't. They don't even know me.
You met Lori and she yelled at you about fake nipples, so I'm pretty sure you're in the family now.
About 35 years ago, she tried to sneak some fake nipples on the show, and I never understood the point.
You're like, we only have real nipples on this show.
But I will tell you something. It was not me. That was Dave Hamilton.
But it's funnier.
What is she pissed off at me for? I didn't do it. Hamilton did it.
Listen, I've been yelled at by both Lori and Julia in a very, the aunts that you've always wanted kind of way. And I love it. I love them. And I love their bluntness. And I love it.
So what do they yell at you about?
No, they'll be like, you need to pay attention. I'm like, you're right.
Well, you never pay attention. But you never pay attention.
I can't afford to pay attention.
Why not?
Get it?
Oh, Jesus. That's the lamest joke I've ever heard.
And you know it's not mine.
I'm so poor I can't pay attention.
Dun-dun-dun.
You're supposed to throw the I'm poor in front of it, though.
I know, but I thought it'd be funny if I just threw out, I can't afford to pay attention.
You set up the joke. So they're all going to be at this boat deal anyway, aren't they?
No, because they're on air.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, that's right. They're on air 3 to 6.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm on Low J tonight. I'm going to Tootsie tomorrow.
What's Low J?
Lori and Julia tonight.
Oh, it's Low J, is it?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't it be Low Jew?
I'm trying to get it on their
No,
show.
answer me.
Low Jew?
Yeah, Low
Low
J.
J is like
Just, Low.
J Lo, but different.
I know, but if you're going to go L-O, I want you to just go LJ instead
I'm working
of Low
on
J.
them turning into Low Job. Like throw a B on there for Brittany.
Mm-hmm. You should go over there. I think it'd be a great idea.
I do go over there all
Not
the
to
time.
put up with your bullshit anymore.
You think that
It'd be
you would have
magnificent.
It's different
It'd be
time,
it'd be
baby.
fantastic.
You're never getting rid of me.
Oh, God, wonderful. That's just great news for the rest of my life. How long have I known you now? You were what, about 21?
I was 20 when you met me.
You were 20, 36
20.
years.
Yeah, I think I was either 19 or 20. I think I was 20. But yeah, we're not. You and I, we're going places.
Lifetime of torture. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, this is going to be a fun week.
No, I went over there last week. I'll be honest with you. I don't mean to cut you off.
No,
I went
you're
over there
fine.
Last week. Those people were so incredibly nice over there. It was
Yeah, they like you.
I don't know why.
It's because I built you up, bro. I was
so you lied to them?
I was like, he's great. He's amazing.
Uh-huh.
Actually, they talk about you all the time. People listen to the show all the time. And they like you. I don't know why that they like you.
I don't understand it either. I don't get it. Although a friend of mine told me that he was walking behind two people, and one guy was talking about how much he just hates anything I've ever done.
That's fine.
And you know why he hates everything I've ever done?
Why?
All he ever does is talk about how much he loves his wife and kids. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm happy, unlike your lame ass.
Do you ever call Catherine a goddamn disaster?
Of course.
Right to her face?
No.
My mom asked me that. My mom's back in town.
You're
She's
a
probably listening right now.
goddamn disaster.
She goes, "Do you think he would call Catherine that?" He goes, "Do you think he'd call Alex or Catherine that?" I go, "He definitely's called Alex that to her face."
Yes.
I don't know, because you treat Alex like you treat me, and it's perfect. But, like, I don't know if you would call Catherine that to her face.
Let me think about it. I'll get back to you on that one. I don't know. Maybe I'm too big a sugar tits.
I don't know, because it's more of like a tagline than it is you're actually attacking anybody.
No, that's true. Yes.
So I don't know. We really sat there the other night trying to figure out like if that's something you've ever said to her.
I don't know. I'll have to ask because she
Ask
would
her.
remember.
Yes.
She would remember if I did. I guarantee.
I should text her and ask her. But we ask her on the family show and then get back to me tomorrow.
Turtle dove, get her in here. But isn't it funny that you're happy with the people you're with, and therefore you like to talk about the good times you have with them, and other people get offended by it.
That guy decided not to like you already.
Exactly.
And that's fine.
And look, I agree with your wife for dumping you.
Now you're going after his life.
Well, they walked right into it. I mean, if you're going to stroll into it, tough did he?
I thought you were talking to Brittany. I was like, is there a part of your life I don't know about?
My wife left me.
Her wife left her. It was
I would
terrible.
love a wife. Ooh,
Better
Zooey
know. I'm
mama.
gonna tell your husband that.
He knows that we both would love a wife.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh.
Like better than you.
Yeah, like absolutely. Oh my God, if somebody who was good at like typical wife stuff, we both are a hot mess. We both barely like the day Carol texts in like you forgot to bring formula, and we both look at each other like, we're both dropping the ball constantly.
Can you handle it now?
Yeah, we'll see. We're working on it.
Okay, so we got everything decided. Oh, then the other thing was my next door neighbor Mike, and I don't know if I brought this up to you guys or not. I think maybe I did, but midweek last week he was walking along, and there were two guys, and one guy said, "God, I'd love to listen to." I used to love to listen to the KQ morning show, but I can't listen to that anymore, and I just wish Tom was back on the air. And he goes, No, he is back. He's back on a podcast at Hubbard. And he goes, No, he's not. He's retired.
Oh.
I saw it on television that he retired.
Ah.
What those pricks did to me with that is really uncalled for.
Yeah.
And they were probably drunk when they did it because they usually were.
Yeah.
But,
I once quit that company, and there was a rumor that it was because I was pregnant, and I was like, no, I just want to leave.
No, I want to get away from you.
That was like the narrative was like, oh, it's because she's pregnant. I was like, first off, I don't think you quit a job when you're pregnant. Like, that's usually when you go,
not. Yeah,
I would like to use my benefits now.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, a friend of mine just got upgraded. I guess you could call it upgraded to program director of a radio station in Las Vegas, and it just happened 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And he said he woke up one morning and his ex-program director had sent an email out at 1:30 in the morning stepping down. And I was like, ooh, I don't think that was his call. I think
probably not.
It comes at 1:30 in the morning.
No.
I think there is something else going on behind those scenes. It's
Yeah.
like, dude, he he sent that email and never stepped foot in the building again. I was like, yeah, there's something going on.
Yeah, that's very true.
Mm-hmm.
Is he working at K-Luck?
Not K-Luck, but Comp, K-O-M-P.
K-O-M-P. I don't know that one.
Yeah, it's been an active rock station for a long
active
time.
rock,
Yeah.
okay.
Mhm.
There you have it.
Our sales guru, Bernie, wrote in, Tom called me a disaster for the first time on Friday. I now feel loved and part of the club.
Yeah, there you go. That's very true, actually.
That's very true.
Bernie and I get along really well. Barney and Bernie.
Right? Why wouldn't you?
See, right there. Actually, I have yet to meet someone over there that I don't get along with.
I'll find someone.
Give it time.
No, it'll happen.
I
There's
know
no
a couple.
question
I
about
was
it.
going to say, Rudy's got your number there.
Maybe I'll just go in the building when I go in the building on Wednesday and go, God, I hope Stan Hubbard's not here. What do you think?
Don't. Why are you causing trouble? They don't know we exist over here, and the paychecks keep clearing.
Yeah.
Let's just keep laying low.
So they do keep clearing. That's good.
Yes.
No, I love working for Hubbard. Always have. Whether it was in radio or doing voiceover, for the TV news and all that stuff. They've always been great to work with, and that's why I came back here.
Yeah.
I mean, there are other people I could have ended up with, but what the hell?
There's a story I really want you to confirm if you guys think this is true.
Okay.
It's on the complete sheet.
Okay.
Do you want me to just read it to you?
I would love it.
They're saying that in a new poll, men are more likely to tell secrets to a partner or a parent, while women are more likely to confide in a friend or sibling. They said 32% of people said their spouse or partner knows the largest number of their secrets, and 18% say a friend knows their most secrets. And when they break it down by gender, that women lean towards friends and siblings, and men lean towards partners and parents.
See?
Who would you be likely to tell your biggest secrets to?
I don't have any secrets.
Well, if you had one.
I'm very serious about that. I don't have any secrets because I don't give a rat's ass what people think.
Does Catherine know all of your everythings?
She once told me she knows all my secrets because I never shut up. You think that was a good approach?
I think that was very tactful.
So you like that one a lot.
I like the idea of her telling you never shut up.
I was trying to think, I don't think I have any secrets. I am very open about it. If you don't like it, I don't give a rat's ass.
But
Go hang out with somebody else.
Like an inner thought that you have, who's the first person you tell it to?
An inner thought, it depends on what are we talking.
Like, let's say you're pissed off about something I do. Who's the person you would tell?
Something that you do?
Yeah, I'm just throwing myself
I
in
would
the
tell
mix.
the world.
Well, that's true.
I
Okay.
would literally just go on the show and go, you know who sucks?
Let's say your BFF Hubbard completely
My BFF
completely screws you over. Who's the
That'd
first
never
person you're going to tell to?
Them.
Hubbard. Okay.
I would go right to them and say, you screwed me over and it ain't going to happen.
Rudy, how about you? Who's holding all your secrets?
My daughter one time told me, she goes, "You're such a bad liar. I can always tell when you lie."
Well, there you go.
And I said to her, "Sweetie, the things that you don't need to know about, you will never know about."
Yeah.
And then she was like, "Oh, wait a minute." So, because there's some deep, dark stuff that I don't tell anybody.
Yeah.
I have one.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's a lot of stuff. There's one female friend that I confide in a lot because I trust her with everything. By far, she knows more about me in the least amount of time that I've known anyone. But when it comes to like family and stuff, like I'd much rather. I dated someone for almost 18 months. And every time I would go and hang out with this person, my mom would go, "Where are you going?" I'm like, I got a meeting. I got a thing to do. Just leave.
Really?
And finally, at some point, my mom had found out. And she's like, "Why don't you tell me these things?" And I said, well, "You're on a need-to-know basis. You don't need to know her yet. I don't know if I'm going to introduce her to my daughter. There's no point in us having to go down this route because then you get to know them and then it doesn't work out. And then you're like, why didn't it work out with this person? I'll tell you when you need to know." So for the most part, I keep everything on the inside, and I just let it boil over, and then I blow my gasket one day.
Have you always been that way?
Yeah.
Or okay.
Yeah. It starts from like when I was a kid. Opening my mouth in front of my stepdad or other adults was
And
like
being disappointed.
Yeah. I told my niece the other day, in kind of a joking way, I told her like, "Hey, quiet down over there. Shut up." And then I was like, ooh. I hated it when people, when I was that age, told me to shut up. So I apologized. I was like, "I'm sorry. I didn't mean that."
Yeah, you're just joking.
Yeah. But, I keep most of that stuff on the inside. I don't tell much. Yeah.
Really? I don't keep anything on the inside. I really don't. It's like, you don't want to hear it, then get away from me.
My best friend, Michelle, could ruin my life in
'cause you
about
want all the secrets?
3 sentences if she sent out a mass text, and vice versa. Like, absolutely. And she'd be the person, let's say I stepped out on Justin. She'd be the person I'd tell. let's say I
not
know.
a good idea.
I just saying that, like, she would, if you think of my work, that would be, in my mind, that's one of the worst things I could do, right? Like, without having to, like, step the line of killing somebody.
Sure. Killing's better.
Depends on the person.
That's exactly
So,
what
like, she would be the one I would tell. I know that, like, Justin obviously knows, like, almost everything, but Michelle knows everything.
Sure.
So I would have to fall in the line of, yes, I would tell my friends, my one friend, and my sister Lindsay I tell a lot to too. But my friend Michelle, man alive, she could.
Mm-hmm.
If we were ever running like for a political position at the same time, the attack ads would be amazing.
Sure. You know, I think one of my biggest things about not telling people all of my life is I kind of treat it like I do social media. And I tell comics all the time, if you're going to be funny, just be funny. Don't go on Facebook and be like, you know, I know that I bombed the other night, but I'm going to get back up on that horse because I believe in myself. Just be funny.
Yeah.
Just be funny and be funny to people. Everybody else has so many of their own problems. They don't also need to take on yours.
Yeah.
So deal with your stuff privately, the best way possible, and then just move on with life. I don't want to hear about your problems, and you don't need to hear about mine. I just want to have a good time with you.
You know, it's kind of hard to be funny nowadays, though, isn't it? Because everybody judges you for trying to be funny.
I don't know. They're going to hate you either way, so just try to be funny. You know?
Well, no, I understand you trying to be funny, but isn't it a bitch to be funny now? Because most people have no sense of humor.
It can, yeah. But like,
you can be funny as hell, and nobody would say it. Nobody would be happy for you.
Yeah.
Because they're the ones who have no idea what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah. I got a friend of mine who's probably about 5-6 years into comedy, and he wants to make his first album. And he's like, I don't know if I do it. Are people going to think like I'm not ready yet? And I was like, who gives a shit what other people think?
Yeah.
Exactly.
They're going to think what they think. Just do what you do. No one cares.
That's what one of my favorite thing about you is, Rudy, is like you bring out the why would I care what anyone's thinking in me?
Yeah.
Like when we went to that high dinner, and I was like, trying to figure things out for myself. And I remember you saying something like, well, why would you care what that person thinks? Why would you? And I was like, he really doesn't care what anyone else thinks.
No.
And I think that I'm that way, but I'm not. Like, I find myself being like, well, I hope I don't offend this person. I hope they don't assume this because I do this. And you were like, do they pay your bills? And I was like, almost never. And you were like, okay. Almost never. At one time with those foot pictures. But like, I think that is a really good entity you have for, especially if there's a field you're in.
Yeah. And Tom can attest, it comes with age.
No, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
But you care what people think.
Only people I like.
Because you could get 1,000 great reviews, and then one person would be like, he sucks. And you'd be like, this one guy thinks I suck.
Yeah, but I talk about it. Most people wouldn't talk about that.
Yeah.
I'm showing you that I don't care by talking about it.
Yeah.
Most people wouldn't, if they got, that guy sucks on the radio and blah, 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 he's terrible, they would never bring that up. I bring it up immediately because I don't give a rat's ass. You know, you have to understand something. We had the highest rated morning show in America.
Yeah.
And we got to that position because we didn't give a rat's ass what anyone said.
You didn't find yourself pivoting with reviews at all?
No, hell no.
And that's always how you feel?
Yeah, I don't care what other people... Look, I mean, the things that these newspapers and TV stations have called me and said about me, the flat-out lies that they know, I couldn't care what they say.
Yeah.
Couldn't care less.
That's great.
Oh, this guy. But but the problem is, the downside of that is you have to go through the hell to get there.
Yeah.
I never thought someone would do some of the things, and again, I'm not just talking about me, but some of the things that they've said about me, I never thought a human being would stoop that low. I just never did. You don't want to, do you?
No.
No. I mean, you can't really go into a public realm and assume that anyone's going to be that vicious.
Well, exactly. But if they can make money from it, they will.
Yeah.
And that's just it's not about me. And that at first you think, oh God, why do they think that? It's not about me. It's about them gaining listeners or viewers and making more money.
Yeah, I feel like that was
That's
a
what that
common
is.
thing with writers, especially in some of the not even the smaller publications, even the bigger publications, is that you were, in their mind, an easy target because I think they assumed you wouldn't even find out about it, or they were just like shooting at the guy high up in the air.
Well, they were shooting at the guy high up in the air, but they knew it was going to make it television because they were on television when they did it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, but most people in radio, newspapers, and television have zero talent. I would say 96, 97% of them. You're not interesting, you're not funny, you're not smart. Who gives a rat's ass what you think?
Yeah.
But there are people that believe it.
And that's fine.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't know them. I'll give you a prime example of what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Over the years, I've been this, I've been racist, and I've been homophobic, and I've been this, and I've been that. If they would bother to pick up the phone and talk, like, I have a very good friend who's the head of Pride right now.
Yeah.
Andy is his name. Andy used to be a woman. Andy's now a man. If I was homophobic, do you think I'd hang out with them every weekend? Probably not.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you think?
Well, I mean, I just think it's in general, when people write these, do they ever reach out to you for comment?
Oh, no. Never.
Which I feel like that's crazy, right?
Nope.
Because I feel like you would talk to them.
Of course I would. I'd show them, look, you've been around me long enough, and Rudy probably not long enough yet, but it's very obvious who I like and who I don't.
Oh,
it has
yeah.
nothing to do with orientation or skin color or sex or any. I couldn't care less about that shit.
You equal opportunity love and equal opportunity hate.
That's correct.
You don't care who's walking in here,
couldn't agree
what
more.
their stand is on what. If they present as an asshole,
Yeah.
that's what stands out for you.
So, I mean, the only reason I even talk about this on the air is that there might be some younger people listening right now. Don't let those people get to you. They're going to call you every name. First of all, and something I'm very honest about that people get very pissed off about, and it's true. Half of the people I've ever met in Minnesota are the nicest people I've ever met, and the other half are the worst human beings I have ever encountered because they're passive-aggressive assholes.
Yeah.
I cannot deal with passive-aggressive.
No.
You want to be aggressive? Let's be aggressive.
Passive aggressive does not fly for me.
It's disgusting.
That's one thing is like I am such a, let's talk about it. I'm a bull in a china shop.
Let's not include Rudy in this conversation.
It's totally fine.
Yeah, let's just keep him out of this. It's just unbelievable.
No, I think it's interesting. I think it's, you must be very sure of who you are. And I think I'm sure of who I am, but I don't know what it is. I still have these moments where I think I've seen, things in my, people write, she's this, she's that. And I have to kind of go back to the mantra, well, are you Brittany? And if you are, can you change?
If you are, like what?
Let's say somebody says I'm sexist. Let's say that somebody says I'm a,
Where would they get
I'm just saying. I'm just throwing something out.
Oh, okay.
The first thing I now do is I ask, are you that? And if you're not, you can just move on with your life because they said something untrue. And if you are that, can you change? Like, that's the way I've decided now to look at comments. Are you that thing? Let's say it's something even more simple than that. Are you bad on air? Sometimes. Can you change? Yes. And so I think I just have there's two questions I ask. Are you that thing? And if yes or no, and then can you change? Yes or no. And so that's kind of where I'm at with trying to get my brain, because I know I'm probably more sensitive than you guys in some ways.
Well, you're younger. What Rudy's talking about, it comes with age.
And then there's some things I can brush off easily, but I definitely, it would be hard for me to read a publication, like the fact that you've read things where people say you are a racist.
No, homophobe or racist.
A homophobe. Oh my God, all that stuff.
Right.
That would break my heart.
But it's not true.
But that's what I'm saying, and that's why I'm trying to do my new thing where I go, are you that? And then you could just say no, and then you can live your life, But that's still hard for me.
Yeah, you can't let them get to you with that crap because they have no idea. They're only trying to make themselves look better, and they don't care how bad it makes you look.
Yeah.
This is so I feel better about myself. I have to trash you.
Have your kids ever come to you and asked you those things?
Back in the day, yeah.
They used to ask, like, are you this, are you that? That must have been heartbreaking.
What, did some colored guy tell you? No.
Oh my God, stop.
I used to be so much fun when you could actually tease people.
Sure.
Jesus Christ.
Christ.
I have tons of black friends. To this day, they say things to me they would never say in public.
Of course.
There's no way.
Of course.
But, it's just, there was a situation that came, like Don Rickles. I used to go to that place, but now there are too many Jews there. I thought that was hilarious because he's a Jew talking about not being around other Jews. Yeah. That's funny. But you can't say that anymore. It's not funny anymore. Is anything funny anymore?
It still exists in an ice house with 4 dudes.
Well,
up on
yes,
Lake of the
yeah,
Lords.
exactly.
It still exists. It's
Yes.
just we've learned how to like keep it under wraps and be more, open to these things and other people when you're out in public nowadays. Because you know, I get that it sucks to have those things come back, but as you've said many a times, you go back and you read these publications and you realize that there is so much false information that is put in news articles about people and things, and you just don't even know what to believe anymore.
Well, and look, I'll give you. I wasn't going to talk about this, but it was Father's Day yesterday, and I got 4 Father's Day cards from guys who I'm kind of like their surrogate or adopted father.
Yeah.
And 2 of them are black.
Yeah.
I don't bring that stuff up to people. I mean, you remember Mike Molina, right?
Of course I know Mike Molina. I love Mike Molina.
Mike Molina sends me, every year he sends me a thank you for being my adopted father. I really appreciate it. Tevin Pittman, every Father's Day, he honors me as his kind of surrogate father.
That's really sweet.
If people would just take 1 second and do a little research before they run their mouths like a bunch of assholes they are, they would realize we shouldn't be saying that about anybody. Because you don't know who they are.
You don't know who they are.
No, if they go over the top and do something really racist or homophobic or something like that, that's a whole different deal.
Obviously.
But to just, look, don't take the heat away from words like homophobe and racist by throwing them around willy-nilly. It's not a good idea.
That it's never been, I think Rudy said this recently, it's never been an easier time for a racist or a homophobic person, right? When the word's getting thrown out around like that, it's really easy to hide in plain sight.
I would like to point out before we move on to Phil, who's a horrible person.
Duh.
He's coming up.
Worst.
But I just, honest to God, if you are afraid of things like that, then you need to look inside and go, why would I care what you think? You're a moron.
Yeah.
You call me this, that, the other thing. You're an idiot.
Yeah.
Why would I care what you think? But the newspapers picked it up. Channel 5, just last August, they referred to me. Some people think he's racist. Why would you put that on Channel 5? Why would you even do that? Do you get it?
You should have added, some people also think he poops from his mouth. Well, what? You can't, what? I mean, I'm just saying that, what a weird add-on, you know?
Did I pick up the phone and call him and leave a message saying, well, look, you're a fat, dumb bastard, but I don't tell other people that?
Yeah, because we are not going to body shame.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I just said I don't do that.
Oh, good. I'm glad that you said you don't do that.
All right, we got to take a break because what's that guy's name again? Phil something? Phil?
Mr. Mackey.
Phil Mackey. That's his name. That's right. I know it was somewhere along those lines. Anyway, we'll take a break. Be right back. Phil will join us right after this.
This is the Tom Barnard Morning Show.
I've been telling you for a couple of months now how happy I am with the mnfatloss.com program. Really has been easy and effective. I've lost 27 pounds. It just really hadn't been that hard either. I eat great food. I don't feel hungry. I have plenty of energy and enjoy this fantastic spring weather we're having. And I'm going into summer looking and feeling great. Right now, mnfatloss.com is offering an exciting summer special, $200 off now through July 30th. But really, don't wait until the whole summer goes by to get this program started. Go to mnfatloss.com for details on this special offer. If you want to find out the secret to losing 20 to 30 pounds in just 8 weeks, just like I'm doing, and save $200 on the program, schedule your free consultation, save $200, go to mnfatloss.com. That's mnfatloss.com. Of course, results may vary, and always be sure to tell the team at mnfatloss.com that Tom Barnard sent you.
This is Bob Sansevere, and I want to tell you about Dave Bialke from Bialke Law. Dave represented my wife, Mary, when she had a significant workplace injury. She was very happy with the job Dave did. If you have a work-related injury and have Dave represent you, I'm betting you'll be happy too. Dave is a down-to-earth guy. He grew up in northern Minnesota, rides a Harley, and worked various jobs doing concrete, electrical, plumbing, roofing, and carpentry work. Dave works for people with work-related injuries. If you work construction, or anywhere for that matter, and you're hurt or even just hurting, you should talk to Dave. Let's face it, our bodies wear out. If your body is worn out from work, if your knees or back or shoulders hurt from things you do at work, do what Mary did. Call Dave and talk to him about it at Bialke Law to set up a free initial consultation consultation. The number to call is 763-571-2410. That's 763-571-2410. Or visit bialkelaw.com. That's BIALKE law.com.
There's a guy named Tom Cross who likes to do kite things. Tom takes the phrase "go fly a kite" to an extreme, and for years goes all over the country in search of great kite flying events. Lincoln City, Oregon comes to mind, with Chinook winds and 7 miles of pristine beach that draws folks from all over North America for the best kite flying conditions in the world. Tom brings a little Minnesota with him when he goes to Lincoln City in his new 2109S Rockwood Mini Light travel trailer. The new lightweights from Rockwood are very popular. Tom hauls his trailer from Niemeyer Trailer Sales in Albertville and Elko New Market, Minnesota. Niemeyer Trailer Sales is the only place Tom would prepare his next kite flight. Solar panels, exterior griddle, air conditioning are just a few of the standard features in his Rockwood by Forest River, from the place that is your ultimate RV headquarters since 1965. This is Tom Barnard. Visit my friends at Niemeyer Trailer Sales and take your passion on the road. Niemeyer Trailer Sales. Go to NIEMEYERS.com. Niemeyer Trailer Sales.
Do you ever Google yourself? Are you happy with what you find? Or is it cringy? Are you a business owner or on your company's marketing team? How do you feel when you Google your own place? What do you see? A non-updated social media page you don't even remember making? Ads for your competitors? Hubbard Interactive can help. They're a Google Premier partner, so they can use search engine optimization to get your click results higher. They've got a photo and video department to make your business look sharp, plus social media, influencer marketing, podcasting, and more. All the things that will make you a lot happier next time you Google yourself. Here's a Google search that you'll find rewarding: Hubbard Interactive. You can see all the marketing tools they've used on hundreds of successful businesses, including an extensive gallery of the great work they could help your venture with. HubbardInteractive.com. Building campaigns that connect.
I'm rolling my eyes at her right now, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it.
If you ever want to see a stare of complete disdain, I'll say something ridiculous and look at the YouTube video of Tom just whipping his head.
It works for me. Works for me, sister. We're deep in conversation here today, Phil. What do you think of that action?
Yeah, you guys are. Well, I heard that promo too, or the ad there for "Do you ever Google yourself?" Which I feel like that kind of ties into your conversation. Until City Pages, didn't City Pages, they kind of went belly up a couple years back?
Yeah,
if I remember correctly.
That's about right. Yep.
But for about 9 or 10 years, when you Googled Phil Mackey, the first thing that popped up was an article from City Pages with the headline, "Phil Mackey blasts Twins bloggers." And it was like this mean mug. They found like the meanest photo of me.
You're so jovial, so it's funny to think about your angry, whatever face that was.
And I think, I can't remember which exact photo it was. But I'm pretty sure it was one of those like radio photo shoots where you're there for 45 minutes or an hour and they've got you doing, like in sports, hold the football like you're throwing a pass with a big smile, or like hold the baseball bat on your shoulder. And then one of the instructions was, "Hey, Phil, Judd, we need you guys to look angry for a second. Just look like you're mad, right?"
Angry.
And that's the photo that winds up on the. And I think it's gone now, but I got mad because there were some Twins bloggers that were poking holes in the spring training coverage of the mainstream media like 10 years ago. And I basically said, "Hey, we're in the room down here. We're getting word from people that are in the clubhouse. If you're going to sit on your couch or sit in your parents' basement," or whatever the dumb thing I said was. So Google changes the game. It changes the game when you spout off, for sure.
What are you going to do? You got all this media now. What a waste of media coverage is all I have to say.
Did you hear? So Bob Costas actually went on a rant. Bob Costas loves to rant nowadays. But
he does nowadays. You're right.
He's a monologuer.
He loves to monologue, yes. He's very, very important. But he did go on a rant about aggregated media, about how now it's like, do a Google search. 75 to 80% of media is just sites that aggregate what other people are saying, or what.
Yep.
If the New York Times writes a story or the Star Tribune writes a story, there's 15 different sites that aggregate what they said. and it just kind of gets it to be a game of telephone across the internet. So now I'm ranting like Bob Costas.
You're not ranting. I used to work with Bob Costas a lot back in the day. He was the nicest guy in the world.
Really?
But toward the end of his career, I have heard, well, he stopped talking to me, and I don't know what the hell I ever did, but he stopped talking to me, too. Yeah. And then everybody tells me he kind of turned into an owly prick.
Well, I think sometimes, and I don't know, I don't want to speak on behalf of Bob Costas. Who am I to speak on behalf of Bob Costas? But it kind of feels like the media game has passed him a little bit. Like he's and he's a legend, but he's a TV man, right? He's and maybe radio a little bit, but I don't know how much he's sort of kept up on like new media, for instance. I mean, look at us. Yeah. We're sitting here on YouTube on a podcast, right?
Yep.
We can't be accused of not keeping up with the media times here. Maybe Bob needs to get a YouTube channel. Maybe that's the problem.
Yeah, you know what? Probably wouldn't be a bad idea for him. I would think that's probably true. Yeah, I don't know. That really is too bad that people get so carried away with, oh, you're successful, so I have to tear you down a little bit. Why can't you be happy for other people who are successful?
It's a good question.
I don't get that.
The world needs more celebration of other people's success. That's what the world needs.
You know what I love about that statement? The Rolling Stones and the Beatles, I didn't hear them ever go after one another. They praised one another and said nothing but good things about one another. And they were direct competitors. Yeah. I think that was good for the music industry. I think it was terrific for the music industry, actually.
I think we should praise the Twins' success. A first-place ball club here on June 19th, 2023, Tom.
Don't talk to me ever
Are you going to tear them down because they're in first place?
Yes, I am, as a matter of fact, because they lost 3 out of 4 to the worst team in baseball. Detroit's terrible.
I think the Royals might be the worst team in baseball.
True. Yeah, that's true. Good point.
They'll have another chance, I'm sure, to lose 3 out of 4 to the Royals at some point.
God, nothing. Well, okay, now, Phil, you've been around that team for a long time. Who is their star? Because I can't find him. I mean, Buxton could be, but he's always hurt, right? It's not Correa. Yeah. Correa's hitting like 217. It's not him.
Yeah, and on the pitching side, I mean, they don't really. They've got some good pitcher. I guess their star would be their closer, Duran, right?
I guess.
If your star is your closer, I don't know that that's a good sign. Don't you need someone in the lineup to be a star? I was looking up this here because every Monday on our Mackey and Judd podcast, we do our State of the Twins address. So we just kind of, all right, like what happened the last week? What are the big themes here? And I mean, the fact that they are having an impossible time creating distance in this division. So they're like clinging to this division, and the teams behind them in the standings are 33-38, 30-40, and 31-42. In fact, if they were in the American League East, they'd be in last place. They'd be in 6th place behind the other 5 teams.
Yep.
13.5 games behind the Rays, and probably talking about, which pieces are you going to sell off at the trade deadline? So, but I mean, hey, right now they're still like 2 games up or whatever it is, and
yeah, two
technically in first place.
I know, and I sit down and I start watching the games, just Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then about 2-3 innings later, I just go, I cannot watch this. I can't. This team's coming apart at this. You can see it coming with that team, by the way,
and for a long time too.
Yeah,
and the other sad thing is, and I'm not a guy that calls for jobs necessarily. I don't like like to go on the radio or go on a podcast and say, Derek Falvey needs to be fired. I'd rather present evidence, and if other people think that there should be a job change, that's fine. But the last 3 seasons, the Twins have made a bunch of trades. They've tried to win big. They're not like tanking or going into a rebuild or anything. They're trying to win big these last 3 seasons. And they're 22 games under 500 collectively the last 3 years. And the worst part is, over that stretch, the division has been the worst in baseball. So, like, what does it say when you're trying to win, you're making trades to win?
Yes.
And you're 22 games under 500 in the worst division in baseball the last 3 years. I don't know. It just, something feels off with the organization. And even if they do go on to make the playoffs, something just kind of feels a little off compared to maybe 3 years ago.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that completely. You look at the Minnesota Twins, the first thing you think of course, is Kirby Puckett. Hop on my back. I'll carry you home. No problem. They had a superstar, and we got so used to the Twins having superstars all the way back to Harmon Killebrew and Rod Carew and, who we just mentioned here. They don't have a player like that right now. Kepler, why he's still in the major leagues, I will never understand. Yeah. You got Correa is constantly hurt. He's hitting .217. They're paying him, $30 million a year for that? Really?
Yeah. Who's the hop on my back guy? Maybe Byron Buxton's the hop on my back. Ouch, my knee. Get off my back. Get off.
You're hurting me. Get off my back. Yeah, they don't have a get on my back kind of guy. They got some good players. I like Joey Gallo, but he strikes out a lot now too.
And the other thing too, this is not now. I'm like old man yells at cloud here when it comes to the Twins. But if you could just indulge me, Mondays are, because we do the State of the Twin. On Fridays, I'm more in a loosey goosey mood. We got Herbie and stuff. On Mondays, you guys are usually catching me after I've done an hour of prep for our State of the Twins, and I'm like, I'm just ready to unleash my takes. Yep. And so, they've got these two really good, bright, young star players in Royce Lewis and Alex Kirilloff.
Yes, yep.
And they're both holding their own, if not more, right? I mean, Royce Lewis, since he came back here, 2-3 weeks ago, has some game-winning hits. I'm not saying he's an MVP or anything, but he's holding his own, and he's a very good player. He was the #1 overall pick. He, in theory, is a franchise centerpiece. Alex Kirilloff is another guy that I want to say his on-base percentage is like 400 right now. Like, he's an on-base machine. He's a hitting machine. His wrist appears to be healthy. And Rocco or whoever is directing this from the front office, they pinch hit for these guys.
I know.
Late in games.
I know.
Well, there's a left-handed pitcher on the mound, and so we got to bring in a right-handed bench bat. So put Kirilloff on the bench. And I get that there's some statistics that are involved in those decisions, but at some point, don't you have to just designate a couple of your young stars and say, hey, I don't care if there's a lefty or righty, if the guy's ambidextrous, we believe in you. You are the man going forward to carry this franchise. How are you supposed to put a franchise on your back when you might get pinch hit for by Kyle Garlick?
Yeah.
All due respect to Kyle Garlick. That was a drive-by.
No,
but it just doesn't make sense to me.
Well, it's a situation, too, where if I'm Kirilloff or one of those guys, I'm getting the opinion that they don't really care that much for me because they constantly bench me when the game's on the line.
Right.
That would bother me a lot. I will tell you that.
There's a human element here in play where don't you have to just say, and they're not doing it every time. I don't want to over-exaggerate, but don't you have to just say, hey, this is a tough pitcher, and maybe the statistics tell us we should bring a right-handed bat or a left-handed bat in to come in here. But because we want you to be a franchise player for the next 5 to 10 years, we believe in you. And I just don't. Yep. Sometimes it feels like they overcompensated. The Terry Ryan era was so much human element and feel, and Tom Kelly, it wasn't as much about analytics and spreadsheets. It almost feels like they've gone too far in the other direction.
Agreed.
Now that the old guard is gone. And I'm an analytics guy, Tom. I mean, I'm sitting here, I'm staring at a spreadsheet right now, probably, Tom, for all you know. I got my start as a baseball analytics writer, and even I am saying, let's think about this for a second.
Well, the biggest problem you got is Correa gets hurt. You got Buxton getting hurt. You got a few people getting hurt, and they get hurt a lot. They get hurt every season. And they're their stars. Their stars get hurt a lot.
Did we fire the trainer because of this last? They made one significant change last year. They fired the well, how about a front office change? No. What about the manager? How about the hitting? Hitting coach? No, let's fire the trainer because we have too many guys on the injured list. Right. And I feel like it hasn't.
Maybe it'll be the batter boy or the bat boy next time. Yeah.
Let's fire Kevin, that 12-year-old.
Yes.
The 12-year-old ball boy. Get your ass in my office. Kevin. Hey, Nathan, you're fired, guy.
I wonder how much money that costs them because I've not been to a game yet this year. And it's going to be a while before I do go to a game because this team's pissing me off right now, losing 3 out of 4 to Detroit, which I didn't think was even possible. I got to believe it's costing them a lot of money losing these games, isn't it? A lot of people aren't going to the games, correct?
Yeah, so, well, right now, let's see here. Right now, they're 18th in attendance. So they're averaging 22,900 fans a game.
It's about half full.
I got to be honest. I feel like the T-Pain concert might have bumped that up a little bit because
yeah, exactly.
I was there and it was packed.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what we need. Let's just get T-Pain on retainer for all the home games. Even if you get beat 7-1, stick around because I'm in Love with a Stripper is going to be performed live at second base.
Or,
It's going to
do
be
you
great.
mean Herbeck called him T-Pan? I think that was the one.
Call him T-Pan. That's a good name for him.
Yeah, but they were. I mean, when Target Field opened up, and you get like 2 or 3 years of a new stadium novelty, and I'm pretty sure they sold out every game for the first 2 or 3 years of Target Field.
Yep.
And now you know it's amazing, but 13 or 14 years old, and so you don't get that new stadium luxury like you did, a decade ago. Unfortunately,
you do get lucky though, because if you've ever been to a Miami Marlins game, it was you and one other guy. Jesus, there's nobody in that stadium.
Hey, Bob!
Yeah, exactly. He's out in left field. You're behind a home plate. You're having a conversation with him.
Miami averages 11,000 fans per game. And they're not terrible this year, are they?
No, they're not terrible. But I'll tell you what.
That's people make fun of Oakland because Oakland's going to move to Vegas because no one goes to the games. They're also playing in just a sewage-filled, possum-filled, dump. But Miami and Oakland basically, Oakland averages 10,000 a game. So maybe we need smaller stadiums.
Well, maybe
that's the problem.
A lot of that 10 and 11,000 people they're talking about are season ticket holders who don't even go to the games anyway.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest problem, because there's no way for game 2, I think it was, of the season this year when I watched the Twins play the Miami Marlins. There's no way there were more than 4,000 or 5,000 people in that stadium. No chance.
Speaking of that, so I was glued to the U.S. Open on Saturday, and I love when you get a major on the West Coast and it ends at like 9:00 p.m. and you can kind of settle in. And so I don't know if you guys caught any of this, but this is the U.S. Open golf tournament. This is one of the big tournaments of the year, and it was at L.A. Country Club for the first time.
Right.
And they sold only 23,000 tickets per day. Usually you would sell maybe like 30, 40, 50,000 tickets for these events and have a ton of people. And half of those tickets, or maybe even like 2/3 of those tickets, were corporate sponsorship tents.
Right, yeah.
So you only had like 5,000 tickets available to the public. And so it felt like just a random, February PGA tournament. You had a couple people scattered around the fairways. You had basically no fans watching this thing. So I don't know what that was all about.
So why would they do that? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense, does it?
I don't know. Feels like you could have fit another. It's a golf course, for God's sakes. You can probably fit a couple more people out there.
Yeah,
but players were complaining about the atmosphere. It's like, what are we doing out here? This is a major championship. But Wyndham Clark won his first major yesterday. He has now, so in his first 6 years on the PGA Tour, he made $2 million. He's made $8 million in the last 2 months because he's won his first 2 tournaments.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Good for that guy.
So he did win yesterday. I know he was hanging around the lead the whole time.
Yeah, wasn't it Fowler and McElroy? I remember they were all tied for first when I was watching. What happened? Yeah, what was the differentiator?
So Fowler was the kind of the cool. It's one of those times where you're all kind of rooting against a guy because, like, no offense to Wyndham Clark,
right?
But can you just triple bogey a hole and go down the leaderboard, for God's sakes? Because everyone wanted Rory hasn't won a major in 9 years.
Yeah.
And he keeps knocking on the door. And Ricky Fowler, he was so bad for a couple years, he bounced out of the top 150 in the world ranking and didn't qualify for like 4 different. So last year's U.S. Open, Ricky Fowler was at the driving range before the tournament as an alternate, waiting for someone to withdraw so he could get in.
Wow.
And he didn't get in last year.
Holy buckets.
And you fast forward a year later, and he's playing in the final. He wound up finishing 5th place, so it's a good comeback story. But yeah, I mean, a year ago, he's on the tee box he's at the driving range, and they're like, "Sorry, Rick, no one withdrew, so you can go home now."
Phil, can I ask you a question about the whole LIV PGA merger? So one of the big things that the PGA was doing last year, when everybody was kind of disenfranchising and going with LIV, was taking the moral high ground and saying that LIV is, evil, we're great, we're the PGA, obviously. Yeah. That was because they couldn't compete with the money aspect. How do they rationalize then merging with that same company?
Well, it's a big question, and a lot of the players think about this, like Rory McIlroy.
Yeah, it took a
Tiger
huge
Woods.
stance. Yeah.
Some of these guys turned down well into the 9 figures from LIV.
Yes.
So Tiger Woods, not that Tiger needs it, but he was offered $800 million to join LIV and turned it down for moral reasons.
Yeah.
which is kind of funny coming from Tiger.
Right, I know, right.
Although his moral issues are more like
moral
his
compass.
are more like relationship issues than Saudis murdering journalists. But so and then the tour president Jay Monahan, who was front and center, just chastising all these players for leaving the PGA for LIV. How could you do this? You guys, how could you value money over morals? Mm-hmm. And then he gets in a back room for 2 months and negotiates this, whatever this deal's going to be with the. It's not the LIV Tour. It's actually the parent company.
Yeah.
It's the Saudi fund.
Yeah.
And then, and I haven't read any updates in the last couple of days, but then Jay Monahan, the president who negotiated this hypocritically, winds up stepping away with an illness like a week ago. So the whole thing is super bizarre. No one really knows what it's going to look like, but there's a lot of PGA players who turn down crazy generational money.
Yep.
Don't those players deserve something at this point? If you're could you throw Rory $100 million for
especially
being a good
Rory?
guy?
Rory met with the PGA a whole bunch of times and had like a hey, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna and it really took a stand against it. And so it just feels like. And he found out the day prior to this announcement or maybe day of. So I just want to know like how they're rationalizing giving a seat at the table when that was the whole concept was they're evil, we're good.
Yeah, and it's and that's the other thing. There's really no details about what this all looks like yet. We don't know.
Right.
Are the tours going to merge? Are the players allowed to go back and forth between the tours? We don't know. The cool thing is, so Netflix did the first season of last year. They released like 10 episodes following the PGA Tour players around an inside look. They're filming season 2, and they were filming at the time of this announcement. I don't know which players they were following, but they were so we're going to find out sometime later this year what the raw reactions were of these players when this news came down. But money talks, man. And I got to get going here in a minute, but we talked about this last week on our show. If this group of Saudi billionaires can come in, let's call it it's the PIF, right? It's the Saudi fund. If they can come in and basically strong arm and buy golf, they can just create a golf tour with no worries about losing money. They've bought soccer players. I mean, they'll literally just go pay a soccer player to play in a lesser league because they've got more money, right? What's stopping them at some point from saying, all right, we're going to buy the XFL, like one of these. They got the XFL and the USFL, these like minor league football operations. We're gonna buy a football league, and we're gonna pay Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow $200 million a year to leave the NFL, or we're gonna pay pick your NBA player. It's gonna be interesting to see if they have some success here with negotiating golf deals and soccer deals. Do they start to encroach on other American sports and just try to disrupt? I don't know.
Well, I mean, the biggest problem, this all started because we decided at the very highest levels of our U.S. government that we didn't want to drill for oil anymore. We'll do it in other parts of the world, which pollute even more than we would. So what we're doing is actually worse for the planet, and they're getting all the money. We're not getting any money. It's worse for the planet, but somehow I'm really holy because I stepped aside. What a crock of shit.
But in the end, at least we get to watch Bryson DeChambeau try to hit 400-yard drives again.
Yeah, there you go.
So it all worked out in the end.
So God bless him. All right, I know we held you way too long today, didn't we?
It was worth it, though. We got some good Twins venting in there, and we got to talk about the future of golf and I guess world politics.
There we go. We got it all covered, Pally.
Thanks, Phil. Sorry about that.
See you guys.
Thanks,
no,
Phil.
we're good. See you guys.
Day, Phil Mackey, ladies and gentlemen, Skor North Course, Judd Zolgad on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Phil on Monday and Friday. Really good guys to deal with, by the way.
I love them. Yeah,
they're really good.
I've been reading and listening to a bunch of stuff about LIV, and I'm just so interested. I just think it's such a weird dynamic, and all in the name of diversifying their portfolio. That's the only reason the Saudis are doing this.
Well, and again, they're doing it with our money because we paid them to take their oil. It's like, Jesus, is anybody in our government, do they have a clue about how to do business? Not one of them. I mean, seriously. Our politicians right now on all sides might be the worst they've ever been. Money-grubbing pigs-ish.
But why don't they throw a little money this way? We'll advertise.
They should get into podcasting. You know who's a great president?
Right?
All of them. That's
right?
who.
We'll speak highly on your name if you just throw a little cash. this way.
Money, money, money. Everything's about money now.
Money,
and that
money,
is a
money.
fact. Everything's about money now.
Always.
And probably always has been. You're right about that. We have to take a break. Be right back in just a couple minutes. Wrap things up right after this.
This is the Tom Barnard Morning Show. Listen live on the Tom Barnard Show app or at tombernardshow.com.
You need to know a guy for your auto repairs, legal issues, banking, and more. The same goes for investment advice. You need a guy to help you be successful, someone you can trust who gets results. Well, I got a guy for you, Josh Arnold. Josh gives you straight talk, not sugar-coated advice about your financial situation. Josh has seen it all when it comes to economic and market conditions, and Josh can make sure that your retirement objectives match your investments. Do yourself a favor and call Josh now for a no-obligation, 48-minute evaluation. You've got nothing to lose, and you'll get a different point of view for your investments. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. That is 952-925-5608. You'll be glad that you did. And tell him his guy, Tom, sent you.
Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC, a security investment advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. Tom Barnard is a paid endorser.
Ready, set, summer. Hi, Judd Zolgad here. You know, the unofficial start of summer, well, it's here. Whether you're heading to the beach, the ballpark, or a barbecue, summer's more fun when you are feeling your best. Let Livia Weight Control Centers help you make the most of our beautiful summer days. Join Livia's doctor-recommended program today and get 8 weeks free. That's right, 8 weeks for free. You could lose up to 15 pounds or more by the 4th of July. I lost 40 pounds on this program a couple of years back, and I'm going to tell you the most important thing. The dietitians and nutritionists at Livia are going to help you maintain weight loss. We've all lost weight, right? Inevitably, it feels like it comes back. Not with this program. It has done right by me, and I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to do right by you. Summertime is here, and Livia wants you to make the most of it. Call 855-GO-LIVEA or visit LiviaLIVEA.com. Join today and get 8 weeks for free. Again, 15 pounds or more lost by the 4th of July. Are you kidding me? Call 855-GO-LIVEA. Livia voted Minnesota's best weight loss program 2 years in a row. Check them out to lose the weight.
There's plenty of thoughts that come into your head when you think the name Killebrew. Of course, there's the Minnesota baseball legend, Harmon, who was responsible for many a favorite memory at the old Met Stadium in Bloomington, and many a baseball that ended up in the stands and in the gloves of adoring fans from his home runs. There's Killebrew Drive, the legendary road that connects Highway 77 to the Mall of America, and a day of shopping you'll never forget. My current thoughts for the name Killebrew is fun floats in our kitchen with my kids and grandkids, a cool, refreshing break in between innings at Target or CHS Field. Or maybe a perfect sunset paired with a sweet, frothy beverage after fishing or on your favorite walleye lake. Killebrew root beer and cream soda. Grab a six-pack at a grocery or convenience store near you. I'm Tom Barnard. This spring and summer, enjoy the one Killebrew root beer and cream soda. Gluten and caffeine-free with a generous portion of delicious thrown in. Killebrew, where memories are created and legends are made. Yeah, the rest of my day is made for me by Brittany.
Yahoo!
Magnificent. She just reminded me of many, many decades ago. 3 of my friends and I went into the poorhouse in Siren, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
It was packed, and we could hear the chirping from the locals about, oh, the city bastards are here, and then we could just hear them doing it, and all blah blah.
Who knows if they even were?
Oh, they definitely were.
But I'll tell you this: it happens all the time when you go into a place where you go, I don't belong here. I already assume everybody hates me.
Well, it's a good assumption. I think
They
it's
probably do.
Works out really, really well.
Be pregnant. That's my big advice.
Yeah, well, yeah, then they can't hit you.
No, I mean, they love you. Like, I went to a parade, St. Patrick's Day parade in a small town, and I was pregnant. Everyone loves you. They automatically love you. They want you to sit down and feed
nice.
you.
That's
It's
very
lovely.
nice.
So you roll into the poorhouse. You guys are big city, big wigs over there.
We're standing there, and we can hear the chirping from the drunk, oh, city bastards,
Yeah.
blah, 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 blah,
Yeah.
blah. And the guy walked up to my friend Bruce, and I don't know why Bruce did this, except for the fact that he was a nice city boy, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The guy said something to him, and Bruce hit him right in the face with a beer bottle. It then turned into a fight between 250 guys and 4 guys.
Let's be honest.
So that went really well.
How committed were you? Because if my friend does something that insane, there's a part of me that wants to be loyal, but there's a part of me that's like, you're on your own.
Well, there might have been a couple of punches thrown, but then you had to go into the tuck.
Yeah.
Because you had 10 guys kicking the piss out
Oh,
of you.
yeah.
It was unbelievable.
So you roll back to the cabin, right? Whose cabin was it? Who were you at?
Roy Matson's. Yep.
And is it just you guys? Is there nobody else staying there? Like
no, it's just the guys.
So at least you didn't have to come back to a bunch of women being like, "What the hell?
The hell are you doing?"
That was my husband. I'd be mortified. I would throw him.
Well, I didn't do anything.
Keys,
I just happened to be with him.
And I'd say, "Don't let me see you for the next 12 hours." Like I got pissed at Justin for rolling his ankle while playing softball because I was like, "You're going too hard, okay? I can't deal with you limping around for a month." Like, the idea of going out and getting your ass whooped. Mm-hmm. No, thank you. I'm pissed.
Well, I didn't know it was coming because I didn't know he was going to hit him in the face with the beer bottle. I mean, that's the big problem.
You didn't anticipate that?
Oh, you hit the guy in the face with the beer bottle. This ought to go really well for the rest of us. Yeah, that was an interesting. You know what's weird about that, though, is remember the liquor store that's right next to the poorhouse? Well,
yeah.
So several years later, I went back up there, and I went in the liquor store at the poorhouse, and they were huge fans of the KQ morning show. It's like, oh, you don't remember that was me then, I bet, huh?
Me and Rudy have a theory about this fight that you guys are talked about every year around that time.
Oh, I guarantee you that's true, because it was hideous.
Like, you can't not imagine. I mean, there's just like, can we tell you about the time that we were kicking Tom Barnard in the gut? Like,
not only in the gut, believe me. But we had some tough guys with us. Mark Merrows was there. He's a big, tall, tough sumbitch.
You're tough, but there's a lot of people there.
Yeah, when it's like 250-4, it's not going to go out. Not going to end well.
And honestly, I feel like you guys had it coming. Walking in there.
How did I have it coming? I didn't do anything.
You know what you did.
What did I do?
You had friends.
Oh, I had a friend.
How dare you travel out to where these people live and bring your money and patronize their bars?
Exactly.
How dare you?
Precisely.
Yes. Well, we still don't know what was said. It could have been like something so mundane, but you guys had kind of hyped yourself up about the whole walking into somebody else's territory. We don't know what the thing was said before the beer bottle was broken on someone's face.
That was not pretty. I will tell you that, because it was not, that bottle shattered immediately. It was like, oh, God. But you knew then. It was like, well, I may as well go into the tuck.
Yeah.
Because you can't fight back.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Memorial Day weekend, we're all camping out in Somerset, Wisconsin at the campground, and our friend Jesse just ran his mouth. And finally these dudes were like, that's it. Like 6 guys got up. And there's a great picture of our friend Ard, who's standing next to the fire, smoking a cigarette, watching Jesse get his ass kicked. And Ard's like, dude, we told him.
This is where we're at.
You did tell him.
We told him to shut his mouth. You guys should. Yeah, so they put a beating on him, and it was like, all right, you deserve it.
So funny. So I have a gay stepbrother who's the same. He's like 3 months older than me, Mike. Love Mike, and Mike will tell this story the exact same way as well. So we were drunk, running around the cabin. We were staying at the bunkhouse. We must have been early 20s. And we were at the bunkhouse. We're like, let's go to some different cabins. We go to some different cabins, and Mike's like, I better be careful because he's very, very flamboyant, hilarious guy. And he's like, I don't want to, cause any trouble. I was like, Mike, nobody cares. It'll be awesome. We are having a blast. And next thing I know, he's like very drunk. He was like a big group of them, we're like, hey, get him out of here. Get this guy out of here. So I'm like, oh, no, it's because Mike's gay. And, he said something, whatever. I go in there. I go, you guys, quit being homophobic. They go, this kid was stealing people's beer.
Well, there you go.
And I look at Mike, and he was like, guilty. And I was like, we got to go. But it was so funny where I was like, Mike, you really are the wild card. Like, I did not see that coming. He barely remembers doing all that. But sure enough, next day, he's like, I don't know. I was just feeling like I could get away with it. I was like, why would you steal someone's beer? Like, we have so much of this. Oh, it was so funny.
Those were the days, man.
Oh, God. I owe everyone an apology, just assuming. It was so funny.
Thanks for bringing that story up, by the way. I just realized 2 of the 4 guys are dead. So there you go.
Well, that's what I was going for when I was trying to bring up a good memory is...
Yeah, way to go. Just miserable memories, typical.
Yeah, it is nice how time changes, though, because Thursday night after the show, Las Vegas, I'm by myself, and I was like, everybody had plans, so I was just going to walk around. I bought a beer, and I just walked around the Strip of Vegas, and I went to, all the old spots I went to in my 20s.
Yeah.
And I took a picture of a piano bar at O'Shea's. And I sent it to my buddy John, who I haven't talked to in 15 years. And I go, remember this place? And he goes, Was that the night that we all hung out with them girls from Ireland? I was like, man, I'm so glad those days are gone. Because they were. I'm so glad that they're over because it was chaos.
It was chaotic.
You wake up and you're like, whose room is this?
I know.
And why is my face like? Why do I have a carpet burn on my face? What happened? And I'm so glad those days are over.
Well, they happen when you have the energy. Because now I can't imagine.
Oh.
I feel like if I ate food that didn't like go super well, or if I drink too much water at night and pee like twice in the night, my next day is ruined.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine sleeping on like a bathroom floor and then having to like live my life the next day.
Yeah.
Like there's a reason that in your 20s you do all that, because in your your
Mm-hmm.
30s, your 40s, our bodies are not meant for that.
No.
Did you go to Rayo's?
I didn't go to Rayo's because I only had 24 hours. I was in and out. And I was so busy.
Where'd you end up staying? Were you right on the Strip?
I was at the Flamingo.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yep.
The Flamingo.
I love walking around Vegas, and I like.
Those were good trips.
I love it. My favorite thing to do is, especially because we'd be there on the weekend. So after we wouldn't do the show, we'd do the show like either Thursday, Friday, and then on Saturday morning I'd wake up early and I'd go for a run, and to tell you the things I would see. It was just beautiful. You're right. It was like that. I get to kind of be in the chaos, like see it, but not have to be wearing one heel and walking down the Strip.
Yeah, I got up on Friday morning and went for a run. And while I'm out there just jogging, I see like one guy in one flip-flop and a torn tank top. And I'm like, dude, you had a rough night, my man.
Yeah, there's nothing that'll make you feel more sure in your actions when you see that.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
I still think we should do a Vegas show. Although this show would start at 5 in the morning, so I don't know if you guys want to do that.
I don't even care. I'll do whatever. I just...
Well, what if we go and just record the show and then we play it back at 5 a.m. their time?
For the people that show up, they'd really love that. Yeah, no doubt about that.
I'm just saying, like, we record the show live in Vegas with an audience. Like, at night, we could do it at, like, 7 o'clock. Everybody's, like, wanting to have a couple drinks and be fun. And then we just record it, and then we do the replay the next day so people who can listen, they can listen to it on the app.
Nobody's showing up. Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
I love it. It's on the books.
Yeah, let's do
So
it.
we're not going to do it in a theater. We're just going to do it at a bar.
No, we'll do it in the theater, absolutely. But it would be we could do it at a theater at 7 p.m.
Yeah, we could.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I don't know why you guys want to go to Vegas so bad I mean, I think our thing is we just
I
invite
wanted
a
to
bunch.
go to Key West is where I wanted
Let's
to go.
just invite 12 people here first, slow and steady.
Let's get some bleachers.
Yeah.
I think we're good to go there. We're covered.
I'm
That's
all
not a
about
problem.
making sure anybody who wants to just come on and see us locally can stop by.
Sure.
So what if 5,500 people show up?
I'm fine with that.
It's going to be a little difficult.
We can carpool. I'll pick you up.
So, yeah, it's great. Sounds wonderful.
It's a big hallway here, Tom. I don't think
That's
you
true.
realize. We can fit a lot of people.
I know.
Very, very true. All right, that's going to do it. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Bye.